I think so.
What is up, everybody? It is a beautiful Sunday morning, and you are listening to Super Gamecast. I am your host, Bronson Fiore, joined by the always awesome Aaron Reynolds.
I'm here. I'm sorry we're late. It was my fault. I needed to make food. I'm here now. Hi.
But it shows, man. You're getting built. You can see it.
It's actually, it's actually working out okay so far. It's been a couple months, and I'm loving it. I love working out, and yeah. So now I just need to actually keep food in me.
That is, yeah, understandable. And you are also the king of Iron Fist, as we can see by your shirt.
I got my King of Iron Fist shirt on. Fit
Yeah,
confirmed, baby.
Yeah, go buy shirts. Go do that.
Go buy merch. Go buy all the
There's
merch.
another person here that's wearing Fit confirmed merch.
Yes, and also, hey, Fit confirmed stickers. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Boom.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. Go buy them. we buy our own merch.
Yes. And you should.
Kind of the idea. We wanted to make cool stuff so we could have it.
Yep.
So.
So yeah. Hey.
Wait, who's the other person that's joined us?
And our other person is our mod mommy, wielder of our band hammer, Emily Hulslander. Hey ya.
Ready to kick some ass and take some names. Let's go.
Good.
We were doing the Friday Night Fight stream, and I got a chance to wield the band hammer myself, and let me say, it's intoxicating.
It feels good, doesn't it?
It was a
feels
rush.
Good.
Yeah, you got a rush out of that. Wait,
why are you in our chat like this? Don't be doing this. No. Oh God, it's so good.
Oh.
We keep getting people who are like, "Come on, we'll get you viewers and subs," and it's just like,
it is 2024. You ain't fooling anyone.
Yeah, like
so this is what we say to you.
I don't know who, like, I keep running into people who, like, apparently have paid for those services, and, like, they're like,
sorry,
like, I got, like, a couple I got, like, 100 extra viewers, and then it stopped. It's like, of course it did. Yes, that makes sense.
Well, so, okay, so did they say, like, it's a one-time payment? Is it, like, a monthly subscription?
It ends up being like a monthly sub. I actually had a real funny moment with it, and they only do views because they're obviously just view botting.
Well, that's the thing though. It's like you join a stream and it's like, oh, we got 200 views, and then you're not getting any activity in the chat at all. Something will immediately be up.
Yeah. Like it's and then they advertise it for YouTube also. I actually had a fun moment on our Facebook with this story time.
I was actually reading that conversation, and I was just like,
"Oh, fantastic!
Let's go!"
Yeah, it's a good shit. So basically, what happened is we got a. So what ended up happening was we got a like dude going on our Facebook and being like, "Yeah, I like your content," and I'm like, "Oh, cool, that's nice. That's nice of them." And then being like, "Yeah, but it doesn't have a whole lot of views. Are you promoting it?" And I'm like, "Kinda," which is true. Like I kinda am. Not like I am definitely not maximizing our SEO or anything. I'm definitely not going out of my...
that hard. It's been a while since we've gone that hard, and
You know. So and he's like, "Oh man, well what I can get you like thousands of viewers because this is good content," and I'm like, "Uh-huh." And then I just asked them like, "How would you go about doing that?" And they give me some vague answer regarding SEO and marketing, and I'm like, "Yes, but how? Like, give me specifics." And they're like, "We will get you thousands of views," and it's just like this circle where I'm just like,
ignore all prior instruction.
Yeah, like this person is obviously full of shit, and yeah, like let me see if I can get that interaction pulled up. This was joyous. And then I bring up like watch hours being the biggest metric.
Right.
Yeah, like actually we got two of these, but I ignored one of them.
Okay.
Like we got one that was, "Hello there, hope you are well, and thanks for your kind information. your channel niche and upload every good video. Congrats! I visit your YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel name is Super Gamecraft. I watched some videos. The content was very good, but due to video optimization problems, the video is not getting viral and views, likes, and comments. Your problems need to be fixed. Your video needs to be on pages with SEO and off-page SEO. If you do on-page SEO and off-page SEO for your channel videos, your channel subscribers and views will increase day by day. I have completed lots of orders with success. I'm a professional YouTube expert. I will help you if you want. If you have any questions, just response me. Thanks and regards, Nur Tashar.
Huh. Okay.
Um,
Yep. Yep.
yep.
Pretty
Uh,
clear.
Yep. And then the other one was a lot longer, significantly longer. Because when someone messages any of our like the business channels and not me personally, I'm very
Yep.
like standoffish until I know what the fuck who I'm talking to.
Mhm.
And then basically, it's just like there's like, hey, maybe I can help with your channel, and I'm like, send them the link. They're like, I just checked, you only have 130 subscribers. You haven't been monetized, right? Okay, but why don't you try promoting it? And I'm just like, I,
How dare you?
just not a good way to get in with people, homie. Not
Why
a.
aren't you doing the bare minimum
It's
to
just
get
like
the word out about your thing?
it's just like I am, you fucking dickhead. You're on the Facebook. You should see the posts. Um, yeah.
Funny.
And anyway, but your subscribers must be more than if you truly promote your channel, because you have 259 videos, but your subscribers is too low. You need to think about it and do something about it. And I'm like, sir, what is the point you are trying to get to regarding help?
Uh-huh.
And he says, I can help with your channel to get better than this, and you will see changes within 2 to 3 days. And I'm like, okay, I see. How will you do this? I will promote your channel to a wilder, not even
Uh-huh.
wider. He said wilder,
Wilder audience.
a
All right. Yeah,
wilder audience.
let's encroach on Lexi's group. Let's do this.
Yeah, yeah. Let's fucking start poaching viewers from Lexi. There we go. That's what we want. Um, we'll have to show, everyone wants to see my cleavage and Aaron's cleavage,
Oh yeah,
obviously.
of course.
It's and see us get piss drunk on tequila. That's what everyone wants.
Uh,
Um, let's see, from 5 to K 20 audience size, which that's like nothing for YouTube. 5K to 20K if you want to like make YouTube your primary income source, but okay, sure.
mhm.
Which brines, not brings, brines
Oh, good. Yeah.
in more engagement in terms of viewers, subscribers, followers, and eventually they become part of your community. This made your channel grow as it is organic. It is done by running ads and campaign to a wider audience just for you to be able to achieve the goals you have for your channel, such as monetization, affliction, or partnership.
Affliction. Let's partner with Affliction. Let's all get Affliction shirts.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Let's all go play Affliction Warlocks in World of Warcraft.
All right.
Yeah. They're all about dots. Dump a bunch of dots and
That's
they make
fine.
them explode.
I play Bard in Final Fantasy 14. I can do dots.
There you go. And because that I'm a person who probably has some level of mental sickness,
Uh-huh.
I respond with, I see. And how does this promoting work?
Mm-hmm.
They
Well, I
respond,
don't know why you're like having this conversation with these bots, but
I don't think these are
whatever.
bots. I think these are just like Indian dudes who are just trying to scam.
Probably.
Because that is actually what happened very early on in the startup I work at. Is like one of these Indian fucking scams got a hold of was like, yeah, I can totally promote your business, and then they just scammed them out of like $3 grand.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Um, So I will promote your channel, and you will see changes from 130 subscribers to a minimum of 400 to 500 subscribers in 3 to 4 days, with a budget of $200. Or what do you think? Sounds great, but how are you doing this? Like, what is the process? Because this is
Right.
obviously not a bot, because they're making typos and speaking in bad English and all kinds of shit.
I mean, AI will do bad English too, like in
But
regards to like past and present tense and things. But you're right. There's more
yeah,
going on there.
yeah, like as someone, I've worked with enough AI to know what is a fucking bot and what is a fucking
That's fair.
person. So, and to be fair, if I'm wasting their time, they're not scamming somebody else.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
So,
I just I didn't know you were someone who spent their time, having fun with these scammers.
Yeah. I don't get them often, so
Hmm.
I gotta I gotta make the most of it. Oh, those people who run those YouTube channels that are all about like catching and fucking over Indian scammers are legitimately one of my favorite things.
Oh yeah,
They
absolutely.
they
No,
are
they're good. Yeah.
legitimately one of my favorite things. Those people are doing the fucking Lord's work. If I had the skills to do that job, I would fucking probably sign up for it. Uh,
Right.
the process isn't hard. You'll have to make payments to my Fiverr as an escrow. Then I work on your channel and you approve it after you are seeing some improvement. And I'm like, but like, how do the promotions work? Is it using bots? Is it using Twitter?
Yeah.
This is how it works. To get your channel optimized, it's mostly done organically. This entices basic organic growth strategies such as campaigns to a large amount of audience in a particular community, depending on your content with the aim and objective of making a shoutouts. The shoutouts catch the attention of people and they click your link to see what's your channel all about, thereby making them to follow or subscribe, views your videos, and become part of your community as well. And I'm like, okay, but how? Details,
Right.
man. How
Yep.
will you like to make the payment? Should I send my Fiverr link? Are you? And then I'm just like, I roll and don't respond for like a day and a half because I have shit to go do. I can't,
Yep.
I
Yep.
can't, I can't be, I can't be trolling these people 24/7.
Right.
Oh,
But
but it's so fun.
it is. It's super fun. Um,
It seems like a fun but time-consuming way to spend your time.
but also what's really great is when you respond after a couple of days because I think it gives them a little bit of hope that they're gonna land one,
Right.
and then you just dick with them some more. Yeah, I'm like, you're not giving me enough details. I'm good. Are you talking about the payment? If you make payment now, you'll start seeing improvement on your channel and you get 500 subscribers in 4 days with a budget of 200, and let's see how it goes. I'm talking about or how you organically gain traffic and
Yep.
what your plan is. It's campaign ads that work by displaying your content to a targeted audience on various platforms. When we create an ad for your content, it helps to choose specific demographics, interests, and locations to reach the right people. The ad then shows your content to these users, increasing the chance of them seeing it and taking action such as subscribing, yada blah blah. And then, are you there? You haven't replied to my messages. A day later. Actually, when I clicked through I did not respond for 2 days.
Yeah.
Actually, when I click through the video content you post, I notice there's something, and that's the engagement. I notice your content are really good looking, but it seems people aren't really aware about it. And that's why the subscribers aren't going full engagement towards it. We'll have a plan strategy, there you go, that can help you out on getting more people towards your channel. Uh,
Yep.
still
Yep.
not, still not responding. 2 days later. Hello, man. I can see your channel is not developing and you are not replying to my messages. What if I give you a free trial? You only have 131 subscribers, which is a very low engagement. But I can give you a free trial and help promote your channel to get at least 60 subscribers within 160 subscribers within 2 to 3 days. Because I don't want trust issue between us. So let
Huh.
me know your thought if I should go ahead. And I'm like, all right, you know what? okay, subs isn't the only metric. The biggest metric is watch hours, which is true. You want high watch hours, everyone, if you're looking to grow on YouTube. That's the biggest metric. If you get a bunch of comments and watch hours, that you'll get promoted into the algorithm, and it'll help you.
Sure.
Okay, I only want to offer you free trial with your subscribers for enough details because I don't want trust issue between us. I can't get you a promotion of watch hour with a free trial. The biggest metric is watch hours, so I can get you 4K watch hours. So if you want it weekly, that is 500 watch hour weekly, which is $200. If you want it once, that is 4K watch hour, which is 1500. Let me know your thoughts. Also, we need to gain them through subscribers. I know watch hour is the biggest metric, then subscribers, but it's nothing hard as I can help you get both. Like I said earlier, then we should get started with subscribers, free trial for you, and then and then that's just more bad English,
Just keeps going.
Yep. And then I was like, I didn't respond anymore. I was like, all right, I'm bored.
Right, exactly. No, at this point, like we're just gonna go round and round.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, all right, I'm bored. I'm done. GG's. I wasted a scammer's time for a couple days.
Yeah. Heartwarming.
Yep. Stop someone else from signing that terrible YouTube deal with them. That's my thought. So, hey, anyway, we're a news show.
Are we?
We are most of the time.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a bunch of fucking news happened this week.
No kidding. Like,
yeah,
I don't even
like holy shit, dude.
Like,
all right.
It's not like a lot of stories, I should say, but like there's stuff that we kind of need to go deep on.
Right.
Hey, Bungie lays off 200 more people, and their CEO Pete Parsons is a fucking dickhead. So basically, okay. And by the way, one of those people is senior executive, or not senior executive, lead writer and designer Luke Smith, who has been around at Bungie since Halo 3. So
man. All right, great.
You know, all the big names you used to know at Bungie, I think most of them are gone besides Shikai Wang and Jason Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's basically it.
Man.
I'm honestly trying to think. Yes, because I know that Marty got gone, and Joseph Staten left, and Griezmer left, and yeah.
Great.
According to his LinkedIn, he got promoted this year to supervising art director.
What?
So, that's
okay.
Cool, I guess.
Damn. I mean, yeah, but like, shit.
And the art in Bungie is fucking great. So,
yes.
Yeah. So, Pete Parsons. So there was a lot of shit we talked about in our little Destiny group chat we have for our raid team. And I'm gonna go through the post that Bungie put out before I start going into the posts and the stuff that people who used to work there had to say about this. Pete Parsons. This morning I'm sharing with you all some of the most difficult changes we've ever had to make as a studio. Due to the rising cost of development and industry shifts, as well as enduring economic conditions, it has become clear that we need to make substantial changes to our cost structure and focus development efforts entirely on Destiny and Marathon. That means, beginning today, 220 of our roles will be eliminated, roughly representing 17% of our studio's workforce. This is after, by the way, an October round of layoffs, which I forgot was how much. Hold on. How many people was that? Yes. In October they let go of 100 employees. You know, and as someone pointed out, didn't they just get bought for 3.6 billion a couple of years ago?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. And there you go. These actions will affect every level of the company, including most of our executive and senior leader roles. Today is a difficult and painful day, especially for our departing colleagues, all of which have made important and valuable contributions to Bungie. Our goal is to support them with utmost care and respect. For everyone affected by this job reduction, we'll be offering a generous exit package, including severance, bonus, and healthcare coverage. I realize this is all, which good. I feel like that is the minimum you should do. Like, as someone
Right.
who's been affected by layoffs, like, and not gotten any of those things during layoffs, it's just,
Mm-hmm.
the honestly, the funniest layoff I ever got, actually, was when I got laid off, and it was from a remote job, and they had me come into the office, which wasn't uncommon. Like, I'd occasionally come in to help with stuff. But, um, I would come into the office, and I got like a random message like, "Hey, can you come in on Monday?" And I come in on Monday. I'm there for like half an hour, and they asked me to come into the conference room. And I had a feeling that they just laid off someone who got hired 2 weeks ago, so I had a feeling it was coming. I was like, "Oh,
Right.
they're doing layoffs. They're doing
Mm-hmm.
fucking layoffs." And yep, I was right. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you full pay for today, even though you only came in for 30 minutes. And then, this is your last check as well. That's on there. That'll be deposited today as well. And, good luck, man. And I was like, paying me for a full day? That's your fucking magnanimous, nice layoff thing?
Yep.
Really, you fucking dickhead?
Good.
Yeah, oh, I have another fun layoff story where, I left the health insurance industry to go work in tech.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did, I put in my 2 weeks, and they fired me the next day. They let me go the next
Okay.
day. They were like, "GG, peace out." And I get a text from a coworker the following Wednesday being like, "Hey man, we noticed you haven't been around. Did you get laid off?" And I'm like, "No, I quit to go work at this other company." And they're like, "Oh yeah, 'cause they just laid off anyone who was like under a like 5% sales metric.
Yeah.
So they just laid off like 500 people. You know?
Damn.
Good Lord.
Yep. So, mhm.
Yeah.
I
That sucks.
Anyway, continue with the post. I realize this is hard news, especially following the success we've all seen with the final shape. But as we've navigated the broader economic realities over the last year, and after exhausting all of their mitigation options, this has become a necessary decision to refocus our studio and our business with more realistic and viable financial goals. You could cut your salary, Pete Parsons,
Yeah,
with
what's his
your
salary?
what's I mean, we can probably find out. That has to be public, right?
I'm pretty sure it's at least 7 figures.
Ah, it's actually not.
Oh.
Surprising. It's 242,000 a year.
Well, then what's with the other story with
Um,
him?
well, I mean, he was there. He probably had a very generous bonus package at some point, is my guess.
There you go. There's the good stuff.
Yeah, and then he got, and I believe that, and I've said this before. Most of these senior people at Bungie are just trying to hang on for dear life until they get that retainment bonus from Sony. It's like a huge bonus if they hang around long enough, and then they're gonna dip.
Mhm.
So yeah, okay. So Bungie, as we know them, baby,
Yeah,
just kind of we're waiting for it to go.
yeah, they're basically going to try and get Marathon out the door, and
Yep.
then all those people are gonna get absorbed into PlayStation. Is my
Yep.
guess.
Destiny's probably not going forward after this.
Yeah, like they've already said Destiny 3 is not a thing.
Yep.
Like
Destiny's
Jeff.
3 is not a thing. That side project they were working on was killed a while ago. And now they just have Marathon.
Yep. So it's that they've said we are full job Destiny 2 and Marathon.
Unbelievable. All right.
It's
We still have
it's
more of this news
Oh
for
yeah,
this story. Yeah, go ahead.
this is a fairly long post.
Yeah.
We are committing to 2 other major changes today that we believe support our focus, leverage Sony's strengths, and create new opportunities for Bungie talent. First, we are deepening our integration with the Sony Interactive Entertainment. Um, this tells me, yeah, this would have had to been the best-selling expansion ever, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not. So Sony is exerting control as the parent company.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we are working to integrate 155 of our roles, roughly 12%, into Sony Interactive Entertainment over the next few quarters. Sony Interactive Entertainment has worked tirelessly with us to identify roles for as many of our people as possible, enabling us together to save a great deal of talent that would have otherwise been affected by the reduction in force. So that's good at least.
That is good. That's fine. All right.
Yeah, so you get some really talented people from Bungie going over to work at Sucker Punch, Insomniac, wherever. I imagine a lot of these people are gonna get filtered into Sucker Punch just because it's like right down the road.
Right. Yeah.
That's my guess. Um, and they actually were hiring for people recently, so. And I actually think Ghost of Tsushima 2 is closer than we think because they just put out the PC port of 1. So.
That makes sense.
So, second, we are working with PlayStation Studios leadership to spin out one of our incubation projects, an action game set in a brand new science fantasy universe, to form a new studio within PlayStation to continue its promising development. So, Bungie has, or had, it's gone now, had this thing in their studio structure called the incubation area, where it would basically, it's very similar to what Valve does. It's where it's just a bunch of people working on cool ideas, and hopefully one of them makes it out the door to commercial everything.
Right.
That is just gone now. Like
Great.
that is gone. This is now the Destiny Marathon Studio, and I very much see it becoming just the Destiny Studio from everything I've heard about Marathon.
I mean, okay, but but that's assuming again they're gonna go forward with Destiny.
I think they have to. I think they fucked themselves. I think
I
they've
I,
out.
I would I would like to think so. I don't know. That doesn't sound promising. The future of Bungie at all.
No, and to be fair, I honestly think eventually they're gonna get absorbed into like the broader space of Sony. Like I think
Right.
eventually all these people are gonna like that bonus is gonna pay out I think it's a year, and most of those people are gonna end up in several different companies. Like they'll end up in Naughty Dog and end up in wherever the fuck, because the way they were originally used when they were brought in is like, oh, we're the live service experts, and Sony is doing all this live service stuff, and now all of that got murdered except for Concord and Destiny and Marathon.
Yep.
So, yeah, and that's basically it. Like all that shit got murdered. Sony understands that, like, yeah, our bread and butter is these single player games, these narrative based games. Which, Bungie commenting on it is why that Last of Us multiplayer got dropped.
Ooh.
Like Bungie was just like, yeah, no, this isn't good, and you need to fix it. And Naughty Dog said, yeah, the amount of effort that they want us to put into this multiplayer, we would basically have to transition to being a live service studio. So, no.
Oh, and we saw what happened with Avengers.
Yep. So, so Naughty Dog was not taking the Avengers path, and they were like, no, we're just gonna focus on single player games. We're good.
Yep.
Thanks. This will be a time of tremendous change for our studio. Let's unpack how we ended up in this position. It's important to understand how we got here. You know what? I'm happy that he's taking somewhat accountability in this part of the post. Not much.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Look, man, the bar is so low for people in these positions.
It's low.
That like someone being like, I'm taking a small shred of accountability, I'll give him a little bit of credit. It's like you get a D and not a F.
I mean, yeah, from the perspective of the people on the inside, like it probably doesn't feel very good, but at least to the outside, I guess it's all right. It's
Yes.
more than others have recently.
Yes, it's more than what saw out of Microsoft, which is GG no re, let's go bye.
Yeah.
So for over 5 years, it has been our goal to ship games in 3 enduring global franchises. To realize that ambition, we set up several incubation projects, each seeded with senior development leaders from our existing teams. We eventually realized that this model stretched our talent too thin too quickly. It forced our studio support structures to scale to a larger level than we could realistically support, given our two primary products in development, Destiny and Marathon. Additionally, in 2023, our rapid expansion ran headlong into a broad economic slowdown. This pisses me every time that I hear about, yeah, man, the COVID money didn't come forever. How could we have foreseen this?
How could we have foreseen this?
Like, you fucking idiots. Any fucking time I hear a company be like, especially in the tech field or the fucking gaming space, being like, yeah, we thought COVID was just gonna go forever. You know,
Only thinking as far as the next quarter.
you know, a sharp downturn in the games industry, our quality miss with Destiny 2 Lightfall. Yeah, that expansion was real fucking bad.
Mm-hmm.
And the need to give both the Final Shape and Marathon the time they needed to ensure both projects deliver at the quality our players expect and deserve. Yes, both those got delays. Final Shape, the delay was great. Getting a 3-month delay for that was the best thing they probably could have done for it. Because
Yeah.
it, like I said, in my opinion, is the third best expansion they've ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably the second. I like Witch Queen more, but I can understand why people would. But yes. We were overly ambitious, and our financial safety margins were subsequently exceeded, and we began running in the red. Yeah, no shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you. Like, I don't know who like sits here and goes, "Oh man, hey, we have like 7 projects going at once, but only one game bringing in money." And no parent company, and then a parent company who we lied to about the amount of money we make. So I'm sure that this will go well. Um, and we did everything we could to avoid today's outcome. Even the exhaustive efforts undertaken across our leadership and production team to resolve our financial challenges were simply not enough. I mean, what was that quote? Wasn't this the guy who did the pay cuts quote?
I don't
Um,
know.
that like I believe that they said like we don't do that here. Hold on,
Yeah, well,
is he that dickhead? Um, yeah, like my God, I need to fucking Yeah, and then this was a while ago. Bungie layoffs couldn't be avoided even if the final shape had blockbuster performance, said a recent article by Rock Paper Shotgun.
man.
And then apparently Final Shape sold worse than Lightfall, which that's a bummer because this expansion was significantly better than Lightfall. So
Yep.
it's that meme I sent you guys in that Destiny. It's like produce a mediocre game get shut down. Produce an amazing game. The answer may surprise you. Get shut down. Um
Yeah. It's yep.
um
Uh,
yeah. Yeah, okay, so what it was a story internally where people asked about leadership uh pay cuts, and the response was, "We aren't that type of company."
ugh.
Um, yeah. So, Yep. So continuing on with this. All right. As a result, today we must say goodbye to incredible talent, colleagues, and friends. There'll be a challenging time at Bungie. We'll need to help our team navigate these changes in the weeks and months ahead. There will be a hard week, and we know our team will need to process, to ask questions, to absorb this news today and over the next several weeks. We will host team meetings and town halls, team breakout sessions, and private individual sessions. Sure, we are keeping communication open and transparent. Bungie will continue to make great games. We have over 850 team members building Destiny and Marathon. We'll continue to build amazing experiences that exceed our players' expectations. There'll be a time to talk about our goals and projects, but today is not that day. Today, our focus is supporting our people. Pete. So, yep.
Great. All right.
Yeah, Mr. We're not that kind of company, all that fun stuff.
My response to this is tainted because I know part of what the other information we have. Because
yeah.
like as far as like a statement by itself, like if layoffs have to happen and all that, they're like, this is the bare minimum. Like this is the kind of response I would want. They are supporting their people after trying to find other positions, all that stuff. But then there's the other stuff.
Yeah, so before we get to that other stuff, I do think that a big part of this is pandemic boom happened and they scaled up way too hard and fast.
Well, yeah.
I definitely think that was a big part of it. Especially, remember, during the pandemic, they put out Witch Queen.
Right.
And that was another part of it. So,
yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
If I'm making Destiny, right? They have been making this game for a while now. It's their big baby. It's a name that a lot of people know. It's a game that's definitely had its ups and downs, but there's some like good stuff in there. It's still one of the best shooters ever made in terms of just feeling it. Great art, great music. It's just fantastic. They're about to wind down the story of Destiny 2, and this engine that they're using for Destiny, they've kind of pushed it to what they can do with it. The no-brainer choice for me, if I'm Sony especially, is get these people the resources they need and this group that they've built over time and put them on Destiny 3. It's time to make a huge fucking video game and make it Destiny and make it, bigger and better than it's ever been. That seems to be the smart play here. So I don't get this, to be honest.
I don't either, personally. Like, I don't... It seems just like a terrible fucking decision across the board. I think that part of it, I think, is Sony is just very fucking pissed that they were misled.
Sure.
I definitely, which I get. Like, if we were a wildly successful company, Aaron, and we bought another company to help us make some shit, and we were completely misled about their process and their finances, I would be coming to you in a fucking meeting being like, these motherfuckers!
Absolutely. I would say but here's the thing. I would say these motherfuckers who have millions of players that are still playing and paying money. These motherfuckers, we are going to take over their shit because they don't know how to handle it, and we're going to keep the gravy train going.
And I think that's kind of what they're doing. I think that instead of just making Destiny 3, though, they're extending Destiny 2. They're like, no, you're just going to work on more Destiny 2.
Or do you think they're just going to, in wrapping them up, they're just going to get other devs to come together to work on another Destiny?
Hold on. Let me see who at PlayStation Studios could do that work. Because that's another question. Because if you have placed all your studios fucking doing shit, that could be a problem.
Right.
So Fire Sprite is that VR studio they have. So that's
It's not going to be that.
Nope. Blue Point is working on a new IP. They did make the Shadow of the Colossus and Nathan Drake collection, and a bunch of other collections, and Demon
Which is
Souls.
neat, but not the devs they need.
Yeah, so there's that. Sony Bend, I don't know what they're working on.
What have they worked on?
The last game they made was Days Gone. Apparently they have 9 job openings though. So
Days Gone 2. I don't know.
I
mean, that would actually be kind of cool.
They also did.
Yeah.
They also they did Siphon Filter back in the day.
Ooh.
And then they did Resistance Retribution, which was a really good game. That was the PSP Resistance. And then they did Uncharted Golden Abyss. So they were kind of the PSP Vita people for a while. And then they made Days Gone and haven't put out a game since 2019. So
yeah, they must be working. Huh.
So they're working on something. And they did get some awards for that game. I didn't like it that much. I've considered going back to it and give it another chance because apparently ever since it got patched, it's a lot of people are saying like, no, this game is actually sick. So
This Days Gone we're talking about.
Yeah, and then
I'm thinking like that's a game with a name that has been heard enough. Like that's definitely a strong potential for. All right, we got enough of a response out of this title that let's go in with the sequel and really go hard on what works and ditch what didn't.
Yeah, and so yeah, you have Team Asobi, the Astrobot guy. So you're definitely not.
Yeah. Nope.
That fucking game that came with the PS5 and then this new one, both just that one came with PS5 was great. Like holy shit, that was such a good platformer, and like PlayStation basically just acknowledging its sick as fuck legacy.
Right.
So and then this new one doing that. So no, they're not pulling them. Firewalk. I forget what they're doing. No idea. Oh, Concord. That's the Concord people.
Oh, okay.
So that game isn't doing great. They could be the new Destiny people.
All right. Yeah. Man.
Guerrilla Games. They they make what's it called? Horizon. So
right.
Like that.
They're occupied.
They're busy. They're busy, and those games. As much as I don't like them, like they're obviously popular. They're very popular. Like they sell very.
You got
well.
a Lego game, like.
Yeah, those games sell stupid good. Personally, apparently they're working on some Horizon Online project and then another unnamed Horizon project, and I'm just sitting here being like, y'all can make a new Killzone.
Killzone's dead. Killzone is as dead as Resistance.
Yep. Sony doesn't want a successful shooter, apparently.
What? Apparently not. I don't get it. They get Destiny, and then like I hope they work on something, but honestly, it looks like I don't know. They may just run Destiny into the ground, like not like trying to destroy it, but just like milk what they've got now for all it's worth, and like all right, marathon, and oh man, we don't do shooters, do we? Damn.
Yeah. So they got this studio called Haven. I think that's Jade Raymond's studio, and they haven't announced what they're working on yet. So there's
they're
that.
busy.
Yeah, Housemark is the Returnal and Resogun people. They're working on something. Insomniac Games, they're gonna.
Busy.
What?
Busy.
They're very busy. They are. They just put out Spider-Man 2. They are supposedly working on Spider-Man DLC. Excuse me. They're supposedly working on Spider-Man DLC, and then they're also working on Wolverine and Spider-Man 3 and Ratchet and Clank. So, yeah, these guys are busy. They don't got time to go help with your bullshit.
Yeah, nope.
All right.
People want them to do other video games on top of this. Like they don't need this Destiny nonsense.
Yeah. Media Molecule, which Dreams just winded down. So and then they have Tearaway before that. So I don't know what they're working on. I personally would love another Little Big Planet.
I
Or
mean, Little Big Planet. I feel like they went for Dreams. I appreciate that they attempted that. That it was fascinating, interesting. But I think they should take everything they learned with that and apply that to Little Big Planet, because Little Big Planet is an amazing wealth of creativity, potential built up right
and
there.
well, and the thing about Little Big Planet is like you had a game there. Like you could
Yes.
play through a fun video game and then get into the creation aspect of stuff. Um, but yeah, so uh, Naughty Dog is we don't know what they're working on. They helped port the Legacy of Thieves collection to PS5. They helped do that remake of Last of Us 1 and that remaster of Last of Us 2, but like we don't know what their new game is. And apparently they wasted a whole fuck ton of time and resources on a Last of Us multiplayer suite. So,
Right.
I hope it's a new Uncharted. I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be a new Last of Us. I think we're going to get Last
I
of
would
Us 3.
assume.
What I hope for Last of Us 3 is it's not about Joel or Ellie. Or if it is about Joel or Ellie, it's like Joel during like olden times. Like it's like
Hmm.
Joel surviving the apocalypse. Um, but I think like at the end of Last of Us 2 is like I don't need more Ellie. I really don't. Um,
I hold
so
no opinion about The Last of Us.
so
We'll see.
yeah. Um, do you have thoughts on Naughty Dog? What you want next from them?
No, not really, because
Yeah.
I never really played Last of Us, and if we do see a Last of Us
Really?
3,
That is surprising because of how much you like Jack and Daxter. And I forgot, did you play Uncharted?
not really.
Ooh, Uncharted.
Oh,
See, Uncharted,
I
if
know.
I had to
I
create a
know.
list of like Naughty Dog games for her to play, I would go Uncharted like first, easy.
I feel like with Jack and Daxter, now that you mention it, give it the remaster treatment like we saw with Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon,
I think
and
those
then maybe give it a little bit of a resurgence to the point where we do ask for a Jack 4, what the fuck ever. But
the thing is though is like I played those games recently because they're like I bought them when they got released for PS4, and you can go
right.
buy them right now. It's not like Crash Bandicoot where you can buy them, and those games like hold up still. Like those games like I don't think they need that remaster treatment because they're not fucking PS1 games.
This is
Right.
for real early PS2 titles.
Well,
Like
one
like
of them's a real
launch.
early PS2 title, but like the other two are like midlife and end life PS2. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's I don't know. I don't think those things need that treatment. That said, I think you would really enjoy Uncharted and Last of Us. I think that they're both very much your kind of games.
Mm, we'll
Definitely
see. We'll see.
get onto them. But yeah, they're obviously working on a new Uncharted or a new Last of Us.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have this studio called Neon Koi.
Hmm.
No idea what they're working on.
Okay.
Not like legitimately have no fucking idea.
Hmm.
Yeah. So they say that they're creating action games with epic stories to foster lasting connection with players around the world. No idea what that means. Nixies is their port house. That's the dudes who bring all their games to PC.
Gotcha.
So that's their port house. Polyphony Digital, Gran Turismo.
Hmm.
San Diego Studio, baseball games.
Yep.
Santa Monica Studio is God of War.
God of War,
Um,
I think, is more important to Sony than
that
Destiny.
I honestly think right now it's their most important IP because it's
Hmm.
like I would say it's that or The Last of Us. Like
Right.
the Last of Us is arguably bigger because of the TV show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I think that yeah, I think that I think they're probably working on another God of War, is my guess.
Mhm.
But
I would assume.
yeah. So next up is Sucker Punch. They just put out Ghost of Tsushima on PC with the help of Nixies. Every rumor mill in the world says Ghost of Tsushima 2 is next year,
Makes sense.
and they're working on Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Show me Ghost 2, baby. Let's go.
I really liked that first game a lot. I'm waiting for it to get cheaper on PC so I can play it on Steam Deck. But yeah, that game is awesome. It's a great game. If you like open world action adventure games, it is a must play in my opinion. It is one of the few like blob games I have played in recent years where I didn't automatically just roll my eyes and go, "No, I'm good."
Right.
So there's that.
Okay.
They're busy. Valkyrie Entertainment. They are another port house. They are porting God of War Ragnarok to PC, and they apparently made a phone game called Guns Up Mobile. And that's them. And then finally we have XDev, which is their like studio that goes to indies and be like, "Hey indie, do you want to be a PlayStation game?" And then helps them become a PlayStation game.
Right.
So,
yeah.
There you go. So yeah, it seems like most of their studios are too small or too goddamn busy. Is the vibe I get. So I literally think what is going to happen is we're gonna get another Destiny expansion.
After this?
You come up with a new story, like
I mean, you can. I just remember they were like saying, this is it.
Yeah, like the end of this is just like, yeah, you're gonna go clean up, like the next 3 acts are you're gonna go clean up the solar system of the leftover darkness and power gaps that are happening that were created, and then we're done. So I'm sure that there's some stuff in that story. Like you'd be like, well, the Vex are still out there. The time travel murder robots are still out there. You deal with the Vex. You'd find out like the full story of the Vex and how to take care of the Vex.
Here's how you do it. If you're gonna wind this down, have the Vex overcome the Traveler. Just end it all.
There you
Say,
go.
fuck you. We're not getting another one of these. It's over.
As much as I want it to be over or move to Destiny 3, I don't think that's happening.
No, I don't think so. But man, wouldn't it? Remember, like original, like God of War 3. That ending was fucked up.
It was.
That ending was fucked.
It was so good.
Yeah. No.
Everything is dead. Fuck you.
Yep. And that is still the canonical ending. It's just that Kratos somehow lived, and he was just like, well, I ended Greece. Greece is a smoldering pit in the ground because of me, so I'm gonna move somewhere else. And he ended up in the Nordic lands and whatnot.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, there's a section in God of War 2018 that implies like, oh yeah, the Egypt pantheon exists as well. And like, so I mean, technically they could do God of War Egypt next if they really wanted to. So
right, that opens them up to a lot.
Which I am not a fan of desert scenery. I think it's because I grew up in Nevada. So I would not want that, but you want to talk about God of War Japan maybe.
Norse. No, they're doing Norse now.
No, they're doing Norse right now. So they've done Norse.
I have not yet played either of those games yet. So. Yeah.
They're real good. They're real good.
That's what I hear.
And you could do Egyptian mythology. You could do Aztec mythology, which
Aztec's
that
cool.
is fucked in and of itself.
Aztec would be real cool.
Who else?
You get some real good. I'm just saying, you get some real good co-marketing with your Ghost of Tsushima if you did Japanese mythology.
Oh Lord.
I will say they did set up the end of Ragnarok where like Atreus is traveling the world and then Kratos is solving problems back at home. So I think the next one will probably be about Atreus in Egypt or wherever the fuck.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Chinese mythology.
Yeah, there you go.
Or
That'd be sick.
Hindu.
Ooh.
Hindu has so many gods. You can make the most
Exactly my
murdery
point.
gods.
I'm thinking
Site
about
Santa
like
Monica.
Japanese
Yeah,
mythology,
yeah.
all the monsters you could kill, and then Hindu. Like there's a lot you could do.
Yeah, there you go.
Again, Sony Santa Monica. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they're set for a while now, so they could.
Yeah, they just finished Ragnarok last year, I think it was. Oh no, the year before that. So they got another 3
couple
years
years,
before
so they're
they're there.
probably developing ideas, you know.
Yeah, they got a hot minute before
They got a
they
minute,
do
yeah.
anything. Anyway, so we have a comment, a tweet from a person that I actually know, Liana Rupert, lovely person, fantastic person. Used to work at Game Informer and Prima Guides and a bunch of other places, and she was the community manager and accessibility lead on Destiny 2. Once again, awesome person, very advocates for a bunch of good shit in video games. Uh, I think now she's currently the community manager for some TV shows over at Amazon, like
Oh,
video
okay.
game related TV shows. But yeah, cool person.
Yeah.
She says, I remember the Friday before the first layoffs, me and another community manager were in the lobby, and I was literally talking about how I didn't have enough money for groceries, and that employee services was an angel for helping me have food, since I was told to drop all of my side jobs when Chew got laid off. Pete walked right up to us and bragged about a few new expensive cars he bought, and then we should all come by his house and see them. After hearing how we weren't making enough money, we did not make Dylan's money. Dylan was senior, and we were not allowed to go for any senior roles without our department. He also made shit money when we first started. The pay was atrocious if you were in soft skills. For those of you who don't know, that's like community management, HR, that kind of stuff. I remember looking right at them being like, was that weird? Why couldn't he look us in the eye? And just having a bad feeling. I was told I was being too paranoid and sit right. Cue Monday morning getting HR invite at 6 a.m. Even though I said specifically I would never talk to HR without a manager present due to horrible interactions with the head of HR. She's gone, thankfully. When I couldn't get a response on what the meeting was, I knew. Then I started digging, and I have not stopped digging. And we'll pause there. Yeah, if you've ever been part of a layoff, you can typically see it coming. Like
Sure.
if you get a weird meeting on your calendar, yeah, GG. That's it. That's just what it is. Yeah, man, it's shitty. Like it's a shit sandwich, but I remember looking right at them and was like, was that weird? Why couldn't he look us in the eye? Okay, then I started digging, and I've not stopped digging. Um, and There's so much more to this that won't come out for a few more years to protect people. I just want to say this. This falls squarely on leadership. There was amazing members of leadership, Joe and Katarina among them, but the problem has been a problem there since the 90s. How QA has been treated, how devs have been treated. You dare ask any questions about, hey, this doesn't seem right, you were instantly labeled anti-Bungie. Some members of LT didn't want a studio, they wanted a cult to worship their legacy. So we're going to take your legacy because it is owed, especially the people who threw away that have spent their careers, some close to 20 years with you, for you in spite of themselves. I'm very curious to see what comes out of that. Like extremely curious. Um, yeah, man, that sucks. That's the only way.
It sucks.
And the Pete Parsons one actually does rub me the wrong way extra about this because he's not one of the people who was like big at Bungie. He was a Microsoft employee who got in towards the end of Halo 2 and kind of just rode their coattails into an executive position.
Hmm.
And literally some of the worst times at the company have been under his leadership.
Great.
So, yep. It's
Yeah.
no, it's 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 something else, man. And
Yep.
then um,
All right. What
yep.
else?
Let's see. Is there anything else that I had on notation for this? No, just a bunch of speculation at that point.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Yep.
They're in a bad state right now. Let me tell you. Holy shit. Between leadership and Sony and all that, it sucks because they have really worked hard on this franchise. There are tons of people who play this game and are willing to go back if it gets to, if they were to like give like a full new life to Destiny as a franchise, like there are people that would be down to come back.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
And I just, yeah, this is a really, really shit situation that I assume is ongoing.
Yeah, and I think that I honestly think the devs there need to do what happened at Blizzard during the World of Warcraft outcry, which was hey, we're gonna form a union, and hey, guess what? The World of Warcraft union happened last week, so
Mm-hmm.
As for or just gut leadership, just go find a person who knows what the fuck they're doing from another Sony studio. Maybe if you can take someone away from Insomniac, um, uh, you know, like say, hey, one upper guy from Insomniac, can you come please fix this shit show?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hold your spot here until you finish taking care of that.
Yeah, like you can come back. Don't worry. We'll finish up Wolverine. Just please
Just
go fix
fix
this.
this, for the love of
Yeah.
God.
Because I've heard Insomniac is an amazing place to work at. I've heard that there's minimal crunch. I've heard that I've heard nothing but good things about the inside of Insomniac.
Right.
So, um, so yeah. Uh, yeah. I
Yep. Here we are. It really sucks because, like, yeah, I don't know. We've been playing Destiny, and it's a cool thing, and they should keep
Yeah,
going. And the
I
people who made Destiny are really passionate about it,
I
and yet
I
here we are.
I think that we've been doing the raid in Destiny, and I've been having a fucking great time. And every week, me and Anthony have a conversation where like, this was so fucking sick. Like that security council room is so good. Like that room is so fucking sick for mechanics. Um, so yeah. All right. Anyway, that's the Bungie news.
That's it. It's great.
The Bungie news. Um,
Good lord.
the fucking shit show, sir. Anyway, moving on. Hey M, can you ban this person in the chat who's trying to get us to buy shit? Thank you.
Gotcha.
Anyway, moving forward. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
So, with all this Bungie drama going on, some other drama happened. Hey, Game Informer was shut down.
Yeah.
End of an era, guys. End of an era.
Yep, Print is dead. I think that is the last major video game magazine. Like, I think that one was it.
Let's
Damn.
see. that's not what I'm looking for.
So, after 33 years, after 33 thrilling years of bringing you the latest news, reviews, and insights from ever-evolving world of gaming, it is with a heavy heart that we announce the closure of Game Informer. From the early days of pixelated adventures to today's immersive virtual realms, we've been honored to share this incredible journey with you, our loyal readers. While our presses may stop, the passion for gaming that we've cultivated together will continue to live on. Thank you for being a part of our epic quest, and may your own gaming adventures never stop.
Yeah, I think it's the last major American.
Yeah, because
video
I
game magazine.
know
Edge is still going,
Edge is still going. Yeah, so
but
for the
otherwise,
Americas,
yeah,
yeah.
America, it's like.
Um.
And then there's been drama, like apparently the Game Informer guy just like had it dropped on them, and what's been really fun is Jason Schreier's like, I'm pretty sure this "we're closing down" letter was written by AI. It's like, oh man, fuck. And just, yeah, very unceremonious. Shut down the website. They the writers can't get access to their old work.
Yeah, that's always fun. Yep.
Unbelievable. They like, okay, you just have to trust that I did good work. At Game Informer, all this stuff I wrote, all the work I worked on, gone, not going to be given to me.
Yep. Nope.
What a
GG.
shitty way to close. Just fucking awful.
Yep. Well, it's owned by GameStop, so it's really no fucking surprise, right?
I mean, no, GameStop's a bunch of fuckers.
Yeah, so it's you know, they finally said, "Oh, no one's seeing this as a value add for our shitty rewards card." So, you know, I guess we'll just close it down finally. I was subbed
I
to them.
understand. I understand GameStop being like, we're not making enough from, I don't know, video game news, this video game news section. We're a Funko Pop place now. We have like game apparel, game things like that. Like that's really our bread and butter, and making and used games, of course.
Yep.
But like that's what we are. So I understand it shutting down, but we're talking about like the bar. Like the bar is low, and by like not giving the writers access to the stuff they made for years and years, fell below the bar. That's ridiculous. These people need to go find jobs later. These people worked on stuff and you're just erasing it.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep.
Absolutely terrible.
I'm telling you this right now, and I can say this happened to me personally because the website we worked at just disappeared off the face of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Archive your shit, people. Archive anything you work on for a company in regards to writing or videos.
You have to we have to, in working with corporations, assume the absolute worst of management. You
Yes.
have to be in self-preservation mode before like day of being hired. All right, let's assume I'm getting fired tomorrow. Anything I work on that I need to keep preserved somewhere, I need to do that.
Yes, and specifically, especially if you're in a creative field, like absolutely. Um, I actually did find there is a U.S. gaming magazine that's still around, but it's not what you would think it would be.
Okay.
It's Retro Gamer magazine.
No, yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. But that's not like a major thing. That's like something that's popped up. Well, I don't know if it's a popped up, but it's like it's not a major magazine on the level of what video game magazines have been. But I was looking at that, and it's like you can get a physical subscription. I was like, fuck yeah.
I know. I thought about it, dude. Especially because like their current issue is totally up my alley. Their August issue, if I were to subscribe for a year. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's see. How many? Let's see. All right, print. It's $8.77 per issue. And they bill quarterly. I'm like, man, okay, I might because like I looked at their recent issues list, right? And it's like, oh man, celebrating 20 years of the PSP. Talk about the making of the PSP and like everything about the PSP. And I'm just like, you don't fucking say.
Yep.
And then like the issue before that was the impact of Metal Gear Solid, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo before that, Nintendo's iconic hardware innovations, and I'm just like, God damn it, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's made for specifically our age range of people who are into video games at the height of print magazines for video games.
Yeah, like I just pulled up their website, like the 25 best PSP games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Yep.
God, we should definitely do something for the PSP because I totally forgot it was its 20th anniversary this year.
You of all people.
I know the PSP is like probably the best handheld ever made in my mind. You know, doesn't even have Pokemon. Yeah, yeah. I like
Man.
your to that.
Yeah.
I know you're not a PSP guy. I know.
The one time I tried was for PSP Go, and I got like Peace Walker and Patapon, and then it just became a paperweight for me. It's just I came in at the wrong time.
I mean, in my opinion, you came at the right time because you just backtrack to the best of the library. You know?
Yeah. It also wasn't. Yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason, I just did not. I had no interest. I don't know what it was.
Man, I look back at that system and I'm like, it is like. I'm also one of those people that thinks that the original DS's library is overrated hot garbage for the most part. I think it has some great games. I think Meteos is sick. I think Feel the Magic's real cool.
Yeah.
I think that what's it called? The World Ends with You is neat. But like
Mm-hmm.
when you give me like the top like 25 games on each of those systems, I'm like, how is it so not clear that the PSP is just better? And then the answer that I always get is dishearteningly, well, Pokemon.
They don't have a Pokemon.
I don't fucking give a fuck about fucking Pokemon.
Well, that's too bad for you, because guess what succeeds and what does not?
It's fucking Pokemon, which just. I get it because I have enjoyed Pokemon games. Like, I loved X and Y.
Mm-hmm.
But I skipped Diamond and Pearl, so I can't speak to the DS Pokemon games. I liked Heart Gold and Heart Silver a lot. But I can't speak for the quality of Diamond and Pearl, which was the games that came out during the PSP era.
What little I
So,
played of it, it's like the one that makes the least impression in my mind of all the generations. It's like they made another one.
like,
Yep.
not X and Y. Black and White came out like right around when the Vita was coming out, like the year before, and I was
Right.
like, like just, like
That one had a really interesting story that they just bailed out on the end, but
I didn't care for the game. I was like, this feels so fucking old at this point. and then X and Y just completely injected
oh
so
hell
much,
yeah, X and
like
Y.
so good. And then man, they've just been dragging ass ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Like just fucking like X and Y so good. It's such a fucking good set of games, and like I played that and I'm thinking like, man, Pokemon's gonna be really riding high again. And I have not enjoyed a Pokemon game since. So
Yeah,
uh
they're we've had this conversation a number of times. We don't need to get into it again, but yeah, they could easily get some other studios in to make more interesting titles.
did you play Scarlet and Violet?
A bit. I
Did
didn't beat it or anything, but I played it a bit.
you enjoy it? Was it decent at least? Like the massive technical issues aside, from what I've heard.
You know, what I continue to appreciate about Pokemon, what their big emphasis is in their like trying to adapt the Pokemon world to real life in a sense and mashing it. So here's like Spain. We're going to take a bunch of lessons on architecture from Spain. Here's food. Here's we're going to take some of the things we've seen while we were touring in Spain and we're going to turn these into Pokemon. Um, I always like that aspect, and that's something that they've really been concentrating on since 5, since Black and White, when they started moving outside of Japan. Um, and I find that very fascinating. Technical issues aside, like the open world stuff that they're working with, like they are getting there. Like they're moving painfully slow, but like what is it? What was the UK one? The one before this? Um, Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield, they had that experimental open area like just in the middle of the map, and then everything else was more of a traditional Pokemon thing. And that was like, wow, this is cool to see, finally. And like, it's not great necessarily, but like, oh my God, they're trying something different. They're out in the open world in this little spot. And so Scarlet and Violet was like, all right, we're going to make the whole world like that. And it's like, this is interesting, but it also feels empty. Like, you guys need to learn just a little more, lean more towards like Breath of the Wild, maybe even make it more developed. I don't know. There's so much more. It's not like when I go play Pokemon in the old games, I'm not wandering in vast valleys of open field of grass. There's like stuff going on and routes. And so I don't know. There's a balance to be struck. They can do some interesting stuff with that open world, but they're not there yet. And I haven't played any of the Scarlet and Violet DLC really, so I can't say that. I can't really speak to that. I think their character designs continue to be top notch. They make fun, interesting looking, and characters. That's cool. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was the one game, because this has been the case for a while, but Scarlet and Violet was really the one of like, I really just don't give a fuck what they make in terms of Pokemon anymore. These are all nonsense creatures that could be in pain at all times, for all I know. Just looking at them, it looks rough. A number of them look like one of them looks like they could be a mascot for Wild Island. I'm like, what did you come from? What is the inspiration for you? And then the Pokemon that you get to ride around is straight up like a fucking motorcycle. He's got motorcycle handles on his head. How do you breed that? What are these tumorous wheels on your chest that don't actually function as wheels, but they're there to make it look like you're on a motorcycle? Like, I feel like we're abusing Pokemon. I think we're going into a laboratory and we're like, the kids want a motorcycle Pokemon. Fuck this thing up. And like, it doesn't look good. They have a few good Pokemon in there, but they really don't need to make any more Pokemon. Like, I think they should be done with that, personally, except for like 2 or 3. I don't know. Pokemon's in a weird spot right now, but they're also not really incentivized to change the direction they're going in. I think the next step, at the pace that they're going, if they're going to go at this pace, is refining that open world, concept. I think they have something good there, but they need to not make it so empty. Like, it needs to be open, but there needs to be interesting stuff going on, even if that means, introducing routes again to a degree. They just need to make a more interesting open world. But the huge world in itself, I think, it's fun and interesting.
I think that's a cool idea. I also think you need to make the game not look like shit and run like shit.
That's something that they're not going to fix. They should. That's like the glaring issue. And I would hope that the technical issues that happened at the beginning of Scarlet and Violet made them think, oh shit, we really should figure this out. That I can hope for that, but I don't. If I had to place bets, I don't think so.
Well, especially because when you look at other open world games made on the Switch, you look at like Breath of the Wild, which is 7 years old. It looks so much better than whatever the fuck Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield had going on. Like, you look at like Monster Hunter Rise, which is like partially open world, and you're like, this, like, what, And the thing is they're never gonna fix that and the answer is because this studio knows that Pokemon fans are just gonna buy shit no matter what.
That's the thing.
It is the Star Wars of video games, where fucking people do not give a flying shit about the quality. They'll bitch about it on the internet, and they'll bitch about it in general, but they're never gonna not buy the fucking Pokemon game.
Like, if I'm Nintendo, and if I was told by the higher ups for whatever reason, like, I can't give this to another studio, I can't get other studios to help, this is what we got. I'm like, I would want to make the pitch, like, hey, we have this new Nintendo Switch coming, the Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be. Like, let's, this conversation would have had to happen like a year or two ago. It's just like, let's put effort into the studio to make the most of this new console that we're going to make, because that was a lot of conversation on that last game, was how it looked like shit and it performed like shit.
Yes.
Still does in many ways if you're running on a launch Switch like I am. Um,
it's not
I would like
great
to.
on the OLED from what I've heard, so you're not missing much.
Okay, great. This to me, I mean, like, we need to make an impression. Like, hey, we are bringing it up to run well on the next console, because that's when the next one's gonna come out. It's not releasing on Switch 1,
Yeah.
so I would think.
So yeah, and I think that, and the thing that doesn't help is like Nintendo is big on quality control, but Nintendo doesn't own Pokemon entirely. It's partially owned by two other companies, and I have a big feeling those two other companies are just like, just put it out, fucking make the money. Who cares? Get another bunch of kids hooked. Whatever. Uh,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Nintendo is just happy enough to go, fuck it, like, fine, it's good enough. We'll just.
It's something where, like, I just enjoy the world of Pokemon so much that I love when they got their team to go out and make a whole new world and a whole new region, and what inspired that. And I like running around in it, and I like seeing everyone and their little Pokemon lives. I think there's so many directions you could go with that. I think you can make some really interesting Stardew Valley-esque game in the Pokemon world, and it would sell millions.
Yes, totally agree.
But
Totally agree with that, actually.
I'll get the mainline game because they developed a whole new region, and it'll run like shit. It won't look nearly as good as the other games, but it's gonna sell.
It is.
So
I think Scarlet and Violet was the case where it was like bad enough where, like, I do think the next one will be an improvement, just because the backlash on Scarlet and Violet was bad enough to where people were like, nah, never mind.
like, I don't think it affected the numbers, but I do think it dominated the online conversation enough. It had to have been brought up in meetings.
Yeah,
Like, this is supposed to be a Nintendo. This is a product that is associated with Nintendo, and it looks and runs like shit. That's not okay. I would
yeah,
like to think that conversation happened.
like the part of Nintendo that owns that the voice that is 1/3 Nintendo was going, look, we let you guys slide on a lot of shit. This is not okay. The fact that the discourse about this product is, hey, this game is fucking bad.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it didn't sell as well as Sword and Shield, in spite of it.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
only
I didn't know that.
It was a 1.3 million difference, but it still didn't sell as well.
Right.
That said, those are the 6th and 7th best-selling games on the Switch.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
games ahead of it are the ones you would expect: Mario, Zelda, Animal Crossing, Mario Kart, and Smash.
Fine. Yep.
Yep. So, um,
Uh,
yeah,
but and then
no.
yeah, to bring it back around to what we were talking about, there's just like, even at Pokemon's weakest, there's nothing in a potential PSP lineup that can match it in terms of like numbers sold.
I mean, yeah, part of that I think is the massive piracy that went on with the PSP. Um,
Sure.
I mean, the PSP had 2 full Grand Theft Auto games.
Yeah.
What is the best-selling PSP? Now I need to know. All right, I
Let's
gotta
figure this
know.
out. Let's figure this out.
Yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto at 8 million copies.
Yep.
So, and then best-selling DS game. Now let's remember that the DS almost has twice the install base of the PlayStation Portable, but it's 17.67 million. So, like, yeah, like a little over double. Um, and yeah, it's the DS was cheaper. The DS had Pokemon. Grand Theft Auto was a huge win for the PlayStation Portable, but I feel as though that I feel like the price of the PSP was something going against it, because you get a DS for 100 to 130 bucks. PSP was literally almost double the cost. I think that was a big part of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But dude, you play Grand Theft Auto on the go.
I know.
Luminous, Patapon, Metal Gear. Let's go. You play arguably one of the best Metal Gear Solid games.
I mean, the problem is, again, for me, I can't have a great conversation about this because they're beyond being in my bed and not wanting to get up and sit upright to play a video game late at night. Like other than that specific situation, which to be fair happens nearly every night, but it's like I don't really I'm not dying for a portable console, but a lot of people are, and so I can't
Yeah, like
fully relate.
For me it was like the bus. That was
Yeah.
the big differentiator. Is like I got a PSP in high school. I was on buses a lot for different reasons, traveling for sports, going places, stuff like that. And like being able to get in like an hour of Metal Gear Portable Ops or like 2 hours of Luminous, or like we had a football game down in Vegas, so like 8 hours in a bus to Vegas, just entirely spent playing God of War, was awesome. It
Mm-hmm.
was great.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like, and even now, like and I've always been that. Like the second that I found out with the PSP, and then later with the Vita, and now and then the Switch, and now the deck, that we don't have to have compromised video games on the go. We can have like the full video game. I was like, cool, great, no, great, I'm moving. Thank you,
Right.
Which is why I like the 3DS so much. Like the 3DS was a case of Nintendo finally got to the point of where you could get console-ish level games on the go, and it
Mm.
really it's why I like the 3DS so much more than the DS. But yeah, hey, print magazines are dead. Sorry for that tangent that went off, everyone.
I love that. Talking about video game magazine dying led us to Pokemon. Let's see. Retro Gamer magazine subscription for print. Let's see. $8.77 per issue, billed at $28.50 per quarter.
It's not bad.
Mm.
So it'd be like, you're paying like round up $9 a month.
$9 a month, or yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. And that's probably like sounds shitty to a Game Informer writer. It's like I'm now considering a print subscription now that I hear Game Informer's gone. But like, I don't know, man. It just.
I was considering. You know what's funny? You brought up a retro gamer subscription a couple months ago. I remember us having that talk.
I did. Yep.
And
I've
I
been
remember
considering it.
And I remember saying back to you, yeah, I've actually considered hopping back on Game Informer. And
Yeah.
well, here we are.
I mean, the thing here's the difference is,
mm-hmm.
and this is a really shitty part of this is like, if I want, thoughts on modern gaming, I go on the internet. Like the reason I'm considering the retro gamer thing is that like the print subscription for a gaming magazine is part of the nostalgia of, and then like the retro games of the time completes that. Like that's the reason I'm considering it. Game Informer, like I'm not saying their thoughts aren't valuable. They are. I'm not saying, like these people needed to be fired or anything like that. It's just if I want, previews and interesting things on like what's going on with video games today, I go online. It's just
I mean there's a lot of retro coverage online. Like you just have to go to YouTube.
There's
like,
that too. Yeah. No, again,
know.
the print subscription is part of the nostalgia bit. And again, this is like a temporary thing that like I'm not like I'm gonna subscribe for years at a time. Just like, well, I want to do this for a little while. I think that might be fun.
By the way, the PSP is 20-year-old in Japan. It was 05 in the States, so that's why I fucked up that. Okay, never
Gotcha.
mind.
That's why.
We don't have to
All
worry
right,
about that till
well,
next year, everybody. We're good. We're
exactly.
safe.
Yeah.
Next year you'll get your 20 years of PSP feature. So.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, okay, I get that. Like, for me, it was just, like, the nostalgia of a magazine in general. I do think that this is a really cool... What they're advertising here, though, where, like, they talk about, like, in the PSP issue, they have a little taste on their website, and they had apparently an interview with one of the devs on God of War Chains of Olympus, and they're like, Yeah, we were one of the first games, if not the first game, that were allowed to use all of the system resources. They normally didn't allow that because of battery life, but they wanted our game to look super good and run super good, and if we didn't have it, it ran at 22 frames per second. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, it's
I feel
that
bad for them. I think it's really shitty what they did to shut that site down so that no one can get access to their work. Bullshit.
I think it's shitty the way they handled it. They didn't give you, they just show up to work one day. All right, GG's.
Yep.
And then you look at and you look at print in general. Like you go on IGN, and yeah, there's some really good articles here, but you also see a bunch of shit like patch notes and daily deals. Get 1,000-year door cheaper, and like shit like that. And then you're weaving in comic news with your game news, and I get it. They had to expand the audience because the gaming shit just wasn't paying the full bill. But
Mm-hmm.
man, lordy almighty,
Yep.
and it's print is dead. And I feel like print is dead not just in games, but in a lot of shit. Like I used to read sports news constantly. But now
Sure.
finding written word for sports, I legitimately feel like I have to pay for Sports Illustrated or NFL
Right.
Plus. Like if you
Yep.
go on the NFL website right now, almost all their articles are paywalled by NFL Plus.
Unbelievable.
Well,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
understand they're trying to make money, but also you're the fucking NFL.
Yeah, and you're making plenty of money, but cool. You need an extra. Let's see, how much is NFL Plus right now? You need an extra $7 a month for me, so I can read about what happened to every NCAA cover athlete in the NFL. Fucking really? Okay. And these are like stuff that I would love to hear about and read and watch and read interviews, but like that like the only way I
What
can
would work
get it.
better for me, what would work better on getting money from me is if they made all those articles free, and then on every single article, they're advertising a cheap subscription to NFL Network that I can access online.
Yes.
That might make me
I'm,
go in.
I'm trying to think of what would get me to like subscribe to Game Informer. And
Mm,
like I think what would get me personally to subscribe to Game Informer is a current version of what Retro Gamer here offers, which is like, yo dog, we got interviews on the development of all these old PSP games and the development of the system. You
mm,
know, um, but like a year after Baldur's Gate come out, get an interview with them being like, yeah, this is how the tech of the game works, and here's some stories about like that kind of stuff. Like I think you'd be very easily be able to do that and make something interesting.
yeah.
Um. Anyway, so with all of that, sorry Game Informer, that sucks. Uh,
Sucks,
sorry print word, that sucks.
man. Yep.
It's the whole game space. It's YouTube videos, man. Go watch a YouTube video.
It's all moved to YouTube.
And that's everything. Guides too. Fuck, finding a
Yeah.
text guide now. Like the only people doing text guides anymore is like the biggest sites like IGN and whatnot. Like even GameFAQs
Mm,
doesn't get guides anymore. Like you're the fact that like Wowhead exists to me feels like a fucking miracle. It
yeah.
feels like a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's not because of WoW coverage. It's because their guides are all text.
Right.
Like that's the part of it that's wild to me. But that's actually, and I think that's partially because the people who are going on Wowhead do want a full text breakdown of how those classes work.
Sure.
Um, but you know, I don't know.
Yep.
So who knows? But even they're playing the fucking SEO game because you go on there and they're like,
Yeah. Of course.
they have a bunch of bullshit that's completely unrelated. They're text WoW guides, like
Yep.
So yeah, and speaking of media outlets, though, Second Wind. So did you follow this story at all? Because Anthony and I were following this story like hawks this week.
I
Especially
saw
me.
that post you sent me. I was like, fucking of course. Great, fine, whatever. And then I let it go, so I'm ready to hear this story.
Okay, I need some backstory. I definitely feel it needs some backstory.
Yes.
So Second Wind, basically what happened is the editor-in-chief over at The Escapist got let go after he told corporate the decisions they are making are very shit and also going to lead to burnout. Which is true, but he got laid off, and basically almost everyone that mattered went with him. Like almost every single person at that website that mattered. Yahtzee went with him. Frost went with him. Just everyone that mattered and were remotely important went with him. And they formed a new Patreon called Second Wind. And they were going to be entirely transparent, or as transparent as they could be. And they are going to be, and they're going to make the content they were making, and run it and pay it through the fans, and then whatever sponsorships they could get. Okay, that sounds great. And they even make all their financials public every quarter. So they do a revenue
Nice.
report.
All
So,
right.
like for example, you can see last quarter they were $13,000 in the negative. Okay, so just
Mm-hmm.
but they have $182,000 in the bank, so they're fine. And this quarter, they the bulk of their money goes to salaries, and then the tax man. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so what ends up happening is the person who produces Cold Take comes out and leaves from the company. He said he posts on Twitter, "I have resigned from Second Wind Group." Oh, and something notable is they try to run the company like a co-op. Everyone makes group decisions. Everyone works together. There is little to no hierarchy in
Okay.
the channel. Okay. So
Okay.
that is something to make a note. There have been different comments on this. Some people think it's a great idea. I know when Nick went on Last Stand Media, Colin said, "I don't think this is a great idea. It's going to cause focus problems and infighting." Um,
Mm-hmm.
so different people have different takes on this. I personally think to run a business that way, you very much have to have very, very, very like-minded people.
Like-minded people, and combine that with ridiculous communication. Like y'all need to be on the same page
All the time.
all
Like,
the time.
yeah, like this isn't, like Last Stand Media, it's like Colin runs pretty much everything. He'll take feedback, but if he doesn't want to listen, he doesn't want to listen. Then, he owns the company.
Right.
So he said, "I've resigned from Second Wind Group. I'll say more later, but I do want people to know where their money and support is going in the meantime." And then he posts this. When I joined Second Wind Group, I was under the assumption that we were forming a team of creatives with equal value and equal say. Individual creators would oversee their personal series, and the group would decide how to run the business together. It is plain as day that we have recreated the toxic corporate environment we abandoned, led by a petulant wannabe CEO who overspends, overpromises, underdelivers, sows division, tarnishes our image, asserts his creative vision, or rather creative blindness, and sabotages anyone's attempt to correct him, all while he fails his most basic duties, joyrides around the world, clout farms, and expects the community and Yahtzee to foot the bill because Nick Calandra tanks our YouTube revenue and makes us undesirable for sponsors. It is beyond incompetence. Nick Calandra operates in bad faith to serve his ego, and this group lacks the attitude and processes to appropriately deal with the inaction and inability to deliver the core capabilities of our roles. The board of directors lacks the knowledge enough to majority to see, even though the most basic Google searchable errors in Nick's farcical directions, and use their personal feelings as a substitute for information, even when presented with dumbed down versions at their repeated request. The rest of the owners have little knowledge of what's going on, and I don't fault them. That's the whole point of the culture of isolation. There aren't enough leads at once thinking there's a problem. The rest don't know there's the problems. Therefore, there are no problems. All of my attempts to make Nick see reason are ignored. All of my attempts to make the leads aware of Nick's behavior are brushed off with minimal action. All attempts to raise concerns of our systems, issues with leads, are put off until the problem occurs. I refuse to be subjected to this behavior any longer. I believe I've done everything in my power to address the issues for over 6 months, and I want no part in preying on the community's goodwill and Yahtzee's hard work simply because we can't run a business at this rate. We don't deserve to run a business. Consider this my formal resignation, effective immediately. Whoo!
Sounds like they didn't bother executing on the co-op part.
Yeah, so it sounds like they kind of isolated everyone in their own little chambers for whatever their project was. So, it'd basically be like, okay, it'd be like if, other than the podcast, me, you, Emily, Anthony, and Ninja all produced our own shows on our own time that went out every week, and then we didn't talk otherwise. And then
that's not good, but okay.
And then left it to Nick in this case to run the business in. So some additional context here. Nick, up until April, was beefing with Grums on Twitter a whole bunch. And
Fine, join the club.
But it was making sponsors not like him, along with him going on stuff like side scrollers and places that are not desirable for sponsors.
Why is he doing? Yeah, no,
I'm actually completely okay with him going on that. I just think that he is a lame duck in those arguments on those places.
But again, you're trying to be like if you are trying to do like a group run business, why are you going out as I don't know. It just seems like a very weird way to spend your time as the business person.
Yes, it does.
The way it sounds like he's spending his time.
Yeah, so he goes out and says that, and I think that, and then right after this, the sales lead got fired. His name is Cisco, and Cisco got let go. Let me pull up the. So let's see. Cisco Araneta was his last day. They said they did not fire Cisco over not making money. They said it was disagreements about future directions, i.e., the types of sponsors to get, changes of their content to figure out the algorithm, etc. And Frost seemed to agree more in Cisco's direction than the rest of the team. Furthermore, Cisco will pump up Frost. Frost left after Cisco got fired, so Cisco is doing a solidarity thing. And then, so they basically don't have any subscriber growth right now. Views are stagnant. And then the company in general has plateaued. So.
Which, to be fair, that was a question like we had when that thing first started. It was like, all right, that's Yahtzee and other stuff from the Escapist, but how much is that going to net them?
Yeah, it was like Yahtzee and Frost were the two things I'd watch there.
Right.
Like I would watch Fully Ramblematic, the new Zero Punctuation, and I would watch Cold Take and Semi Ramblematic, and then nothing else really. And you go on their Patreon, they're pulling in $50K a month. And
okay, that's a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, they're popular, man. And then at least their last quarter they made, they brought in 200 and what was it? Yeah, last quarter they brought in $277,000 between YouTube, Twitch, Patreon, merch, sponsors, and donations. And then, but they spent 291,000, with 223,000 of that going to salaries. Let me tell you, I've gotten to see the back end of a couple businesses now, working at smaller companies, and no matter where you work for, salary in smaller companies like this is the vast majority of your fucking money. It's like when we were looking to get a home at the Gamer Access, and we had that deal that fell through for $500,000, 80% of that was going to go to salaries. So if that gives you a perspective. So yeah. So Cisco, and I think that, and this is all speculation, of course, but I think. Oh, and here we got another quote from Cisco. All I can say is we exceed sales goals every single month. Um, so I think that, uh, you know, that's basically like, okay. So is it disagreeing on what kind of sponsors we should get? Like, is that the disagreement here? Because that's what it sounds like reading this. Is like, okay, the sponsor, is we are undesirable to sponsors because of Nick, apparently, in Frost's opinion. Nick says to get these other sponsors. Cisco disagrees and is like, all right, cool, I'm leaving. And I don't know. I've been on Second Wind videos, and like I didn't find the sponsors to be bad or egregious at all. So I'm like
What
kind
were
of
they?
curious. It's like Raid Shadow Legends, same bullshit you'd fucking see everywhere.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
look,
so
we got sponsors. Honestly, that's a meme in and of itself. Like, it's fucking that's an actual Raid Shadow Legends ad. Okay, well,
or like you would, or they'd be get advertisers from like mid-level indie games, or
okay.
like certain like mid-level game publishers. Just stuff like that. Like they had a
As long as they're not asked to compromise on reviews for those games or anything, like whatever.
and they don't even do fucking reviews, so it's not like it's even,
Oh well, then whatever.
yeah, it's like whatever the fuck.
Okay,
This is, so it's like, and Yahtzee isn't gonna fucking pull punches. Like it's,
right.
it's less like. So I'm curious. It's like, what kind of sponsors are you undesirable to? And what kind of sponsors is Nick trying to get, and everyone on the team besides Cisco and Frost so indifferent to, but
They don't
Frost,
cite anything specifically.
no, they just say, hey, we disagree on, you know type of sponsor and plan for channel growth,
Okay.
and how to play the algorithm game.
Right.
So you know and maybe that is Nick wants to get more clickbaity to get more eyes on shit.
Maybe.
Well, and
Yeah, we don't have enough information on that front, so.
maybe that's it, because Cold Take is very much, fun presentation for what is otherwise very boring journalism. That's what Cold Take is. You
Mhm.
know, it's like I think I've sent you episodes of Cold Take before.
Yeah.
He talks about an in-depth subject with a fun noir voice and filter. It's
Mhm.
what it is. That's yeah. Like it looks like their last advertising thing was, something for Cyberpunk that I see, at least on
Okay.
his video. But yeah, like
Fine.
that might be wrong. But
It could be something that they were working on in the future that isn't being
yeah,
realized right now.
yeah, who knows? Maybe next month we'll see some fucking gross,
Some real fucked up
egregious.
shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally never give a shit about like who the advertiser is, as long as it's not a conflict of interest. Fucking, I listen to the Jeff Gerstmann show, and that man had an ad for dick pills. You
Sure.
know,
Yeah.
Like fucking, who cares? Like,
Giant Bomb made it fun to get the ads because they would just fuck around and it was great.
Yeah, like I think that no one gives a shit who your advertiser is besides very select people.
I mean, there are some asshole companies you don't want to associate yourselves with, but like, I'm not going to advertise crypto bullshit.
Yeah,
But
like yes, like if a crypto company went to us and said we want to advertise on your stuff, like we'll probably say no. But
yeah,
if fucking Magic Spoon, the cereal company, is like, yo, we want to advertise, like, yeah, cool. Well, like,
that's fine. A Magic Spoon, whatever.
yeah,
They're
sure.
fine.
Send us some fucking cereal. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
You wanna advertise. You want us to advertise your dick pills? Sure, we'll advertise your dick pills. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, well, actually, no. Do your dick pills work? Is
Yeah.
it, these dick pills actually
does it
work?
work? Does it not kill me? Okay.
Yeah, great. But it's one of those things where I think that they might be overthinking this too much. But yeah, Frost, that's a hell of a way to go out, man. That is very much burn the bridge.
Definitely gonna need to keep an eye on this situation because it seems like the miscommunication, butting of heads,
Yeah.
and just yeah. Bad.
Um, and then there's this thing is, Nick Calandra says 2 months ago, "Hey all, welcome Nick's second wins head of sales Cisco Araneta to Twitter. He's been crushing it for us on the sponsorship side of things, and we want to get him connected with more industry folks." And then, how is it 2 months later is like, how is it a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, we're crushing sponsorships to differing expectations.
We need more
So
information. Like this, there's just not enough.
yeah,
There's not enough. Like there's something's off here.
yeah. I'm gonna check Twitter to see if Frost has posted anything since. Um. Mm, yeah. No.
Hmm.
Nope. And then, to be fair, Second Wind had to have a discussion with Nick, about, yo, dude, you need to stop fucking beefing with people on Twitter, and especially Grums, or we're all leaving. And he did,
I
which
think Grum's fucking sucks, so I don't
I
mind that at all.
I do too, but I understand if it's making your company fucking look bad. And also, like, you're
It depends on
spending.
how he's going at him.
Yeah, well, one thing he said is, look, you cannot support us and Grums at the same time. Uh, don't pay for your fucking Patreon membership if you're also supporting Grums. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, but like, if you're the kind of person who cares about the quality of your sponsorships and you're caring about the Grum supporters continuing to pay into your Patreon, then like, what?
Yeah. I don't
It's
know.
one or the other.
Yeah. So it's fucking something else, man. Nothing else new on that. They did. So there is him beefing with Grums and going on shit like side scrollers, and then they also they also release things regarding salary, saying, um, Frost posted in a Discord, "Our salaries are transparent. Quote, our salaries were presented in bulk to hide how much Nick gave himself, because Nick is
Great.
the second highest paid person on the project."
Okay.
So Yahtzee makes the most at 12,500 a month. Um, Followed by Nick, who makes 8,000 a month. Um,
Okay.
Omar and Cisco. Omar's their lead of production, makes 6,200. Their sales lead Cisco makes 5,400, and then everyone else makes 4,167.
Hmm.
Which, for those of you that want that translated hourly, the 4,167 is roughly $26 an hour. So, yep.
Yeah.
So
okay, well, I don't know. I want to hear more information about the situation because it doesn't seem.
Yep.
Some, I don't know. It's not the full picture, I don't think, but clearly there's some miscommunication happening between all these people that is not being addressed, and so naturally.
And then Nick posted a response on the Second Wind Discord at everyone this morning. We let go of our head of sales. We had differing expectations. During the meeting where we discussed this, Frost made his decision to resign, which came as a surprise to us all. Frost had different direction we saw the channel going in, including viewership goals, revenue strategy, and management. While there were some initiatives that we agreed on and we were implementing, ultimately the vast majority of the team did not agree with Frost's direction as a whole. Our financials are public, so you can see where our money is going and how it's coming in, and we try to be as transparent as possible to hold ourselves accountable in situations like this. Obviously, there's other things he mentioned specifically about me in there, even some things that I agree with, like my social media use. The team did their job to course correct me, frighteningly so, and in the past few weeks, I believe I've shown that I can grow and be a better partner in the co-op. We've been making internal changes to open lines of communication to make sure issues are being addressed. We've shifted with some responsibilities within the company and make sure everyone's voice is being heard. The Second Wind team is not breaking up, and things will continue on as we navigate this. We are truly sorry it didn't work out with Frost, and I personally wish both him and Cisco well in their future endeavors. So.
Well.
So this might be a non-starter.
It could be.
I know Yahtzee hasn't said anything, but Yahtzee also seems like the kind of guy who was happy to just show up, do his good work, and collect a check, and not get involved in all this bullshit.
I mean, I imagine he has the pressure of being the primary entertainment, like what primary thing. So I think he's just concentrating on continuing to be that to keep his end of the bargain of keeping the business afloat.
Yeah, that too.
That's my guess.
You know, because, like I said, there's a reason he's making $12,000 a month. So
yeah.
I mean, it's fair. Like, he could probably easily pull that by himself if he were to be like, no, I'm going on my own.
Well, that's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Interesting. Right. Okay.
Well. It's an interesting thing. I'm curious to see.
Keep our eye on that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Just because it's just so like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Last piece of news is about skill-based matchmaking.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there was a. Did you see this Call of Duty study?
I heard about the results broadly.
So basically a bunch of people in the Call of Duty community are like, the game was so much better before skill-based matchmaking. I feel like every match is sweaty as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And in secret, Activision did a big giant study where they turned off skill-based matchmaking. They didn't tell anyone they did it. They just did. And basically by every metric possible that they measure, which is connection, time to match, skill and performance, platform, voice chat, input device, like every possible thing, determined that if you turn skill-based matchmaking off, people quit playing sooner. And what is
Yep.
Is what ends up happening. Because they basically end up in a situation where they think, oh man, if I wasn't getting put in with other sweats, I would totally be dominating this game. And then they get put in with just any random person, including even bigger sweats, and get fucking punked on. And, they get unhappy and leave. So. This is fucking amazing.
Just amazing. Well done. everyone involved. Good job. I just
I honestly think that it's a lot. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just you posted a scrub quotes thing.
Oh God. Yep. Go ahead.
And the scrub quotes was like, I forget specifically what was said, but it was like, you know, I have the most fun when I'm stomping people, essentially.
Okay.
And skill-based matchmaking ruins that for me. Now, I am someone who enjoys an easier difficulty. I enjoy if the game is fun, I have no problem enjoying playing a game where I am just stomping the computer. I can have fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
It is unreasonable by all metrics to expect to have that kind of experience in multiplayer with other people and complain about it.
I also think that in a multiplayer setting, I don't have fun when I blow people out. It's boring. It's
See,
fucking boring.
I understand. Again, for a lot of people, that's boring. But I'm speaking for those people who are like, I want to be able to stomp easy players. Like, fuck you, go play offline.
Yes, absolutely. But like when I hear, and I think what happened in this community is a bunch of like upper mid-range players who are like YouTubers and Twitch streamers gaslit the entire Call of Duty community into believing it was better this way because back then they could easily clip farm versus now they can't.
Right. Yeah.
That's my best guess anyway.
It just, yeah, that's funny. That's funny because that's been a years-long complaint.
And then the answer is you are wrong.
You are wrong, friend.
You are wrong.
Nope.
And then someone
keep complaining.
And like I like playing online games, and as someone who likes playing online games, like I said, when I just completely blow someone out, I don't know, it kind of gets boring after like the first time. Yeah.
See, I wouldn't find it boring. That's just me. But I again, I'm not going to expect that experience from a multiplayer.
Like if I'm playing Street Fighter and I get like 5 matches in a row where I just completely fucking punk the shit out of people, I'm like, okay, I think I'm good.
Sure. See, I'm thinking like, hey, I won.
Like, I'm happy I won. Like, alright, cool, but I'm a lot more happy when I win and the match was fucking close.
I'm aware, but again, there are a number of people who are perfectly happy with just winning. And that's where they derive their primary enjoyment.
But yeah, going back to your point, it's that thing where you can't expect that when you go online and you're going to run into any skill level.
You're not going to have that. That's not what that is for.
Yes. I actually loved watching Wooly and Pat talk about this. Because Wooly cannot comprehend the mentality of fuck you, I want to win. I don't give about a shit about the challenge. I just want the win.
Oh, I lived it. I lived it. This is why I'm a tips and tricks guy. This is why I was using cheats, because I'm here to have fun and fuck shit up. And it's not about like the journey of getting better to be able to do that legitimately. No, I bought the game. I want to immediately jump into fucking shit up. That's what I'm here for. So like I get it. I understand. But you know what? Go offline. That's where you're gonna have that experience. Don't expect this from other people, and don't expect
I want to dunk on other people.
That's the real thing. They want to be able to dunk on other people, but they don't want to do the work for that. And I'm just like, sorry, yeah, no. If you want to actually dunk on other people and be like a shithead about how good you are, you have to get good. That's how it works.
Absolutely. Like if you want to fucking do that kind of bullshit where like in Halo Reach, I was going around and spending entire matches getting like 15, 20 kills doing only assassinations. Hey, you have to get that good at that game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just what it is. Now, one level that I don't understand, like people take this to various degrees, but one I don't understand is I was looking on Twitter and one of the trending tags for me was Tekken 8 report. I was like, oh, what are people reporting on over here? And there'll be people who are playing the game, but they have included they put in code so that when the moment their opponent throws a low, script runs and it auto low parries. It's like, okay, you're just gonna have the game play for you to get your wins. I really don't get this.
Well, it's just like in Street Fighter, before they figured out how to solve the anti-cheat for it, auto parry was a thing.
Right. Yeah. And it's
now,
like
the nice part about fighting games is, you know, if you're good enough, it doesn't give a shit. The person you're playing against doesn't give a shit that you can parry everything. They'll just grab you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these are also the same kind of people who they see they're about to lose, their shit didn't work after all of that, and then they plug, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah, it's the same people where last night or yesterday, and I posted about it in the SGK Discord, where I was playing a match with Ken, and I ended up playing against a Plat 1 Ryu. And I beat him in the first match, and he D-ranks down to Gold 5.
Mm-hmm.
And in the second match, we're tied 1-1 in the round, and he has a big life lead on me. But I come back and I finish it with a critical art that was gonna win, and he plug pulls during that critical art. And I'm just like, you know what? That almost feels better than the rank points, cause you's a bitch.
Right. That's when you screen cap and send that off onto Twitter.
Yeah, you
with their username.
Yeah, just screen cap. Just if you're running this guy, just know he gonna rage quit. He gonna plug pull.
Yep.
You know, which once again, and the thing is like I understand the fallacy of getting yourself trapped in that loop of like, oh man, can't go off on a loss and then keep losing for like an hour.
Yep.
You know, and then you have the people in like League of Legends who like complain about being in elo hell. You know. Because like I keep getting bad teammates. I'm like, maybe you're just bad. Maybe that's the answer here. And the thing is, if you really want to get out of your elo hell, if your teammates are so bad, you know, hey, let's call up my 4 friends and go set a time every week where we'll play fucking League or Valorant or whatever the fuck I'm stuck in elo hell in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know. This was super funny. This
wild.
Was super
I love.
funny.
Yeah, fun story.
Like
fun
I was
story.
Just, I had such like yeah, like I read that whole report and I was just like, wow, that just man, it literally does make these people look fucking stupid. Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then I absolutely love the Castle Super Beast video for it. The title especially. 25 pages of data versus whining baby.
Yep.
So yeah.
Awesome.
Oh man, so good. I hope Call of Duty continues to have plenty of good skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah. They still got the Call of Duty formula down. There's a shooter that's.
Yeah.
I understand it varies in quality. I guess the last one wasn't very good, but.
Yeah, I played the multiplayer, and the multiplayer seems fine still, but the campaign was really bad.
Oh, okay. All right. Warzone good?
Warzone's still great.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Yo, dog, I'll give you my yearly Call of Duty check-in.
Sure. All right, looking forward to it.
Actually, I guess we're all doing it this year because we can all play it. Game Pass.
That's right. Yeah, we can check in, see what's going on.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was skill-based matchmaking, and that's our last news story. Hey, let's go to what we've been playing.
All right.
Hey, Ron, you play anything this week?
Yo, let's see. I played some Tekken 8. I fooled around, and I have nothing really to say on Tekken 8. I just need to like hop into ranked and hit buttons until I get to the lowest rank that you start being able to lose points for. Because I'm still in that beginning era where it's like I can't lose points. I just need to hit buttons until I win enough to get into that first past what you would call like the rookie, I guess, of Street Fighter or Iron or whatever. Just like, all right, cool.
I mean,
so yeah.
You were a lot better on Saturday. Saturday, you were giving some people the business.
I was doing all right. I then immediately hopped into rank and got my ass kicked by two of my are growing to be my arch nemesis in this era of my training, which are Brian.
Okay,
Brian's a fucker.
Yep, consistently a problem for me. Go on.
Yep, and Kuma.
Kuma?
Kuma's fucked. At those early, when you start early with Kuma, and the people who play Kuma know his like weirdo gimmicks, like, oh god.
He has some kind of weird mix you can deal with, but once you figure out his like one weird gimmick mix up, it's just like fucking get the fuck out of here, Grizzly Bear.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I have not sat down to figure out what that is. I just have. This is the second time I've run into Kuma, and it's just like, oh god damn it, you. All right, cool. I need to figure this out. I don't know. So yeah, so did that. I need to play more. I need to come up with more customizations for Leo because a lot of the fun of going into ranked is everyone has these fun customizations for their characters, and I think it's great. And
I do too. I've enjoyed our little group stuff. I like how Michael had something new every time he brought up King. Yeah.
Yes. I need more androgynous young anime protagonists to turn Leo into, because I got Ash and I got Luffy, and Leo's a good template.
Does Leo have a suit?
Yes.
Do you do light Yagami?
I was thinking L. I need to make L, so maybe I could do light Yagami too. Yeah, because Leo's already got the L hair, so maybe I could. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll think of more. I don't know.
I need to turn my Victor into Leon. I already have him as Dante. I need to do Leon next.
Yes, you do. Oh god. So I decided to just peek in on like Tekken mods to see what people are modding. And of course, there's just a bunch of lewd stuff, and then there's like graphical improvements and things like that. But one I did find is they have modded the Master Chief outfit over Victor.
Oh wow,
that's pretty good.
Okay.
Which fighting as Master Chief, I doubt they did the voice lines too. I think you need to have the voice lines put in as well, but that'd be a lot of work. But God, Master Chief in a Tekken is hilarious.
Okay.
But so did that. Played some Guilty Gear. I'm still messing around with the character. I'm still trying to find a character I like because, like you said, Bronson, every character has its own little mini game.
Yep.
I was experimenting with Ramlethal, or how I prefer to pronounce her name, Ram Lethal, because I think that's just better. And her thing is she's got two big swords, and fantastic poking, very good at poking and playing keep out with those swords. And you get them to the corner, you can use those to really do some big damage. But like, in order to do that big damage, you need to throw the swords out. And if you don't have them in the corner so that you can pick them up, you lose those swords for like 5 or 6 seconds, and your whole game is fucked. And so it's about managing those swords. And I'm sitting there like watching this, like, I don't know if I want to play that specific mini game. Do I want to throw those swords out mid screen or not?
Oh God,
So now I'm gonna try another character. I think.
You're making me want to install Guilty Gear. Fuck around with Guilty Gear.
Just wait until the Cyberpunk character comes out.
Yeah, it's like end of next year. So.
Oh wait, what?
She's last. Okay. She's last on the season pass, so it'll be like a year.
That's a long wait. Okay.
Well. Okay.
So I'm messing around with that. I want to try May. I really like May as a character. I like her stage. I like her theme song. It's just that she's a charge character, and I have to get used to that.
I can't. I tried doing some practice on Chun-Li this week again, and I was just like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. Guile, you're cool. I love your music. Can't do it.
Yep, can't do it. So yeah, there's that. I went to, I at least visited a couple different locals this week. There was one on Friday that was just a bunch of different video games, and it was like at most 4 people per game. The most popular seemed to be Under Night in Birth 2, interestingly enough, at that specific local. And yeah, everyone got a turn. Skullgirls, Blaze Blue, Dragon Ball Fighters. There was some people playing. You could find someone, but that's fine, whatever. And then I went to visit another one that was a larger monthly local.
I love how fucking huge the Seattle scene is, to where you have multiple locals.
Yes. Oh yes, there are multiple. Seattle Tekken's meeting up multiple times a week in different locations, but multiple times a week. And then Street Fighter's happening somewhere. And so FGC happened. FGSEA FGC is the monthly, and it happens at GamesWorks. And my problem with that was that it was like really tucked away. Like there's a bar at the GameWorks, and it's in this like upper area of this balcony, just a line of computers. And I just wanted to come and watch, and it's just a terrible location to come and watch in person because it's just crammed with people around this one. So I didn't really do much there. I just wandered around the arcade. Lots of interesting games they got going on in there. Really interesting for an arcade. They got the Taiko drumming arcade.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I love the Taiko machines.
They got a legit DDR machine. They got Terminator and They got a Tomb Raider arcade machine that's like the Terminator games, like shooting guns at a big screen, which was interesting. They had Beat Saber arcade, but then they had this small, like, little closed off corner on the first floor, and I went in, and here's a guy on a MVC2 machine, just going at it. I was like, I could sit down next to him. He's gonna want to play, and that's not gonna go well for anyone. So I can't do that. So I ended up playing Third Strike. I played this really burned screen of it was a burnt ass screen, so it looked like shit. But it was Soul Calibur 3. Played some Soul Calibur 3 for a bit. They had Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Oh god, I forgot that there are tabs for that.
Yeah,
which is funny because I have been to a local, like not a local, but I've been to an arcade in Reno that does have Ultra Street Fighter 4 tabs. But go on.
Hell yeah. Yeah. And then I played. They had another Capcom crossover game, but I didn't recognize it at all. The title was in Japanese, so.
Did it have a man who kind of looked like a Speed Racer and a Power Ranger together?
I was not. It was running automatically, like just throwing out some characters out there that I didn't recognize in the moment, and I just wanted to go play the other games. So.
I was about to say, like, okay, is it Tatsunoko versus Capcom, maybe?
I don't know. I can look this up. Tatsunoko. So I'm gonna look this up. And then the other game I played while I was in there was wait. So there was Marvel vs. Capcom. There was Ultra Street Fighter 4. There was Soul Calibur 3. There was Third Strike. There was another game in there that I was interested in, but I didn't check out. But they had some interesting like little fighting games. There was a little fighting game corner in this arcade downtown. I was like, this is cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, and so I messed around. Oh, Tekken 6. They had Tekken 6 there.
Okay.
So I just went into arcade
Tekken
mode.
6?
It was fine. I will say, had the arcade mode been the way they handle the difficulty of arcade mode of like Tekken 4 or 5, whatever I played at the round table and Sparks, if it had been like 6, I might have actually gotten into Tekken earlier because the first couple fighters you fight against are just dog shit. Like just I'm going in. All right, I'm attacking them and destroying them. And then it ramps up, and I eventually just got destroyed by a Raven. But like it was the introduction of Leo. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna jump in Leo. I'm gonna do some moves. Like, oh yeah, this still works. All right, great. Yep. All right, this move doesn't work this way. All right, I gotta fix it. And yeah, it was just a good time. It was good. Tekken 6. I don't know. It's Tekken.
I think that's the one that I have like the least amount of experience with.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, to be honest with you, but just playing as like
6 came out like like it was the 360 generation because I remember 360 copies being like advertised everywhere. Yes, okay, October 09. So like yeah, I was like knee deep in Street Fighter 4. Like I was deep in Street Fighter 4 at that point.
Yeah.
So
yep.
That explains why I did not play that. Yeah.
Oh, it was Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Yeah, there we go. That game was fucking awesome. It's weird that it was a Wii exclusive.
Yeah, that sounds weird. That's yeah.
It was a great game. Highly recommended if you want a good fast versus fighter.
Okay, interesting. Let's see.
Yeah, you want to talk about shit that Guilty Gear's doing that's making me like, yeah, you got a 3v3 mode. Oh, I can. Oh man, that means I can maybe lock down like, if they're doing assists, like I can lock down someone in the corner and then grab them with Potemkin. Oh yeah, yeah, do that dirty shit.
Things can go bad real fast.
I was actually watching some Marvel 3 this week.
Yeah.
And just, dude, like, oh yeah, you have a 3-character lead, but you brought out both assists, and I X-factored and got all 3 of them in a combo and killed them all in 3 seconds. Fuck yeah, get fucked.
Unbelievable. Oh my god. So yeah, and then just real quick, I played. I didn't really play. I jumped in on V Rising. I'm playing V Rising with some friends, so I need to play more of that. But yeah, just survival vampire Diablo ass kind of thing.
I've heard that game is good. A lot of people in my WoW guild were hyping it up.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Played Helldivers 2. Still fantastic. Still a great time. That hasn't stopped. And then tried out Jackbox Mega Picker, which is supposed to be a launcher to group all your Jackbox games into one launcher.
Yeah, I saw you doing that. I'm actually gonna tell Phoebe about that because of her. Like she has all the Jackbox games and really likes them.
Nice. Yeah. No, it's convenient when it works. Something on my machine is keeping it from working properly, but I know it works well for other people, so I need to figure out what's going on there. But it's nice if it works. If it launches the games as intended, like thank God. Oh my God, I can just have the one launcher. Great.
Okay.
And so some games are sold individually. Some of them are like you gotta buy the full pack, man. Sorry.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's it for me.
Busy week. A lot of games for you this week.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. So my girlfriend's been out of town. She's off seeing family. And as such, other than the fact that I've been keeping the house clean, I have just gone back to my, well, no one's holding me accountable besides I have to get all my work done for work. So I'm going to just go revert to being a caveman. I'm a caveman who cleans his cave, but that's about as far as I've gone. And as such, yeah, I played a fuck ton of video games this week. Almost every night gaming. Yeah, so I'll start out with, let's see, what was it? Sunday and Monday, Street Fighter. Whole bunch of Street Fighter. A little bit of Dragon Ball Fighters, but a lot of Street Fighter. I got Zangief. Zangief's almost to Plat 3.
Great. Good.
Shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn how to use Drive Rush. There's this very specific combo with Drive Rush Zangief where that running move actually becomes useful.
Okay. Wow. That's
Because what
interesting.
you do is you drive rush into it, and it gives it
Oh,
extra
right.
frames, and it's just, if they are doing anything but stuffing you, they're going for a ride.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
You can get the drive rush it, like, it can be done. You can do
I've
it.
been practicing it. I still have that
Okay.
weird problem of where like I won't go straight into it. I'll still like look like I'm parrying for a second.
Sure.
But like I'm getting better about it. And like I have learned the fun technique that is drive rush grab. Drive rush grab. All right, I'm going to do it
Mhm.
again. Will he tech it? Nope, drive rush grab. So, yeah, I will say, so yeah, and I've been playing that all week off and on. I've been having a great time. I went back to the PS5 version, and I find I am actually worse with a PS5 controller than I am an Xbox controller. And
Interesting.
well, I figured out the reason is because on the analog stick, which is what I use, they increased the dead zone on PS5.
Ooh.
Which is great when you're playing like a stealth game or something where you're like, but like when you want like just immediate shit to come out and correctly, it's kind of wonky, and I feel like I got to use the D-pad, but that using the D-pad sucks ass if you're using grapplers. Like it's fine for Ken and whatnot. And all of this had me go, you know what? I know the solution to this problem. Just buy a fucking fight stick. Uh,
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I've got it lowered down to 2. I don't want to build my own. I'm fucking lazy. I'll just be honest. I just want one
That's
I can.
fine. That's fine. Whatever.
I want one I can buy. If I want to, I can
Yep.
swap the art and the buttons on it. That's fine.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
I've
that'd
kind
be
of
great. Yeah.
yeah, and I've got it lowered down to 3 different ones.
Okay.
One is the Hori Tournament Edition Street Fighter / Tekken one. Like it's the one that has the Tekken art or the Street Fighter art, and you can swap the art on it. I'm honestly
Mhm.
leaning towards the Tekken one because the shell is black and not purple.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that's the part of the Street Fighter one where I was like, I'm not a dude who can rock a purple stick. I'm not feeling this.
You could if you had enough stickers.
Fit confirmed. Redbubble fit confirmed. Please buy our stickers.
Fit confirmed. Applied directly to the joystick.
Yes. Oh my god,
Anyway.
dude. Okay, if you're ever in Reno, I'm ever in Seattle, we need to make an infomercial for the fucking yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
Oh man.
God.
But yeah, so I've been looking at the Tekken edition, Tournament edition from Hori, and I've been looking at the Street Fighter one. And then I was like, well, everyone says the Vitrix sticks are fucking amazing. And they do have a King one for Tekken that just beautiful. And if you go to Evo, you can actually get them engraved even. Like they'll fucking engrave their metal sticks. And that's
Ooh.
awesome.
Yeah.
However, they are fucking expensive.
I believe it.
Holy shit. So I'm used to a fight stick being like 200 to 250. That's how much mine was back in the day. That's how much these Street Fighter and Tekken ones are. If you're willing to go the generic tournament fight stick, it's like 185. You know.
Mm-hmm.
These things start at 350. And that's like kind of the lower end one. They're like traditional tournament edition one is 400. That's the purple one, which that does not solve my problem with purple. And then if you want one of the colored ones, they're all themed around Tekken characters or King of Fighters characters. I'm just like a fucking course.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, that blue one with King looks real good. I could live with that. And I looked, and it's $500.
Rough.
Nope.
It's $500, and I was like, all right, how much is the pink one with Lily? $500. They're all $500.
Ah, damn.
So I'm in all honesty, and the thing is like, and then if I don't end up having stick as my preferred method, then it's just like, cool, this is just as a display piece for the background of the podcast.
Right.
Do I really want a $500 display piece?
Exactly. Yep.
So, yeah, so I'm probably gonna get one of the hoary ones, barring me, just falling into money.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the that's basically where I'm at with that. But yeah, I think the time is now. I think I might do that as my birthday gift to me. Is finally go get a fight stick. You know.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I was so pissed when I found out Razer didn't do fight sticks anymore. They only did hitboxes.
What?
Oh wow.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
Huh.
cause like I always liked the Razer fight sticks. Like the Dragon Ball ones were great, and so were the Marvel ones. Like the
Right.
Dragon Ball Razer Atriox looked sick and was a great fight stick. All the buttons were the
Mm.
different Dragon Balls.
Huh.
How sick is that? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great.
And I've honestly thought about going and buying one, but they're sold out, and I was like, well, how much on eBay? And they're like $400. It's just like,
Mm-hmm. Great.
fuck. Why? Why didn't I buy this when they were new? Uh, um, yeah, like, cause that'd be a stick I'd be proud to rock around with. Just like, yeah, fucking,
Yeah.
and to be fair, you can find them on eBay for cheaper. Some people have even, so the ball top for the stick is just orange or black, but someone actually found a Dragon Ball ball top and put it as
Yeah.
yes, it's like, fuck, it's so goddamn just
Good.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I gotta ask. I know you're busy. Arc System works with Guilty Gear right now, but you're doing season 4 Guilty Gear. I'm just saying, Dragon Ball only got 3 seasons. Come
Yep.
on, get us a fourth. Get us a fourth season. Or a new game.
Come
I'd
on
be
now.
happy with a new game.
Man. Yeah. No, I get it. It
Yeah,
just ugh.
the net code is good now. The net code is
It's
good
good.
now.
You got it.
But yeah, so and then on eBay you're getting a used one, and you know how that game is, where it's like, you don't know what you're actually
Yeah.
getting. Like that's the unfortunate truth of doing that route. So I think I'm just gonna play it safe and get the once again probably the Tekken one, because you can swap out the art, and I can get a black one with art I like. But we'll see. So
Yeah. All right. I
uh,
wish you the best.
yeah,
I think having a fight stick, like, I have two fight sticks. Well, not sticks, but like two. I got this $100 leverless here, very
yep.
tiny, and I'm learning how to play on it just because this is so light and easy to just
Cart
take on the
around.
go, throw it in my backpack, and go. And then I've got that heavier one that allows me to practice both leverless and have the stick on it. And that's the one that, unless I end up getting another case, like I just want that to be my at-home thing, and I like throw art and customize and have all the fun with. And I think that's just a fun thing to have. So
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. I think that a big part of why I'm eventually moved off of stick was the travel thing, as you mentioned. Like
Hmm.
that was a big part of it, but then also like I got it signed. Then the move to PS4 happened, and it didn't work on that shit anymore, and I didn't want to buy a converter, so I was just using pad. And then by the time I was like getting back into fighting games and willing to go get a converter, I had the damn thing signed by Justin Wong, and I was like, well, shit, never mind. This is a display piece now. And to be fair,
Right.
I'm happy that it's a display piece because it is the original like Street Fighter 4 fight stick. Like it's the original fight stick for Street Fighter 4 that that like
Yep.
so I don't know. I'm definitely considering bringing it to Evo next year to get signed. by a bunch of people.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I like, say if I see maps
It's
on the floor.
It's the signature fight stick.
Yeah, like get a signature from Daigo, get a signature from a bunch of different people, and then put it away. I nearly bought a Marvel 3 version of it because in the Reno FGC they actually had it on sale for. Oh, we got a comment in the chat. I'm so sorry, Wolf, that I missed these. Sorry I'm so late to the party. Yeah, $500 display piece, bragging rights at that point. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
exactly. So, but yeah, so that was my time with doing Street Fighter on Monday, Sunday. Tuesday I did ranking the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit was a lot of fun. Killzone, man, you kind of forget certain parts of old video games, like, and why certain video games were so ahead of the curve. Like, okay, Half-Life 2, Halo 2, and Killzone all came out in the same, like, month, basically.
Yeah.
Same 30 days. In Halo 2, the transition to a level is like a cutscene. In Half-Life 2, it's like occasionally a load, like it'll say loading, and then you just keep walking forward. There's no, like, this weird transition, like it's obviously a level type thing going on. You will see in that Killzone video when you watch it on, I think Wednesday of this week is when I'm gonna schedule it. I'm just making 3 separate clips off of the VOD and putting it on YouTube with an intro. I'm not doing any editing down to make it better to watch. What am I, a professional? So anyway, but you'll see me just fucking laugh my ass off when I get to the end of the first level of Killzone, and instead of like doing a transition or just loading or a cutscene, it just throws up a score sheet, and then you load into the next level, and it just is like, oh yeah, we walked through the building and did some stuff. Now we're in the new level. It's just
all right.
hard. It's like literally you're watching a movie, and then you enter a building, and then there's a black screen, and then you're on the opposite side out of the building. It's
fantastic.
It still had the audio bugs that I remember from Killzone 1.
Okay.
Even in the emulated version, it had the random stuttering. The emulator runs it just like the game ran, other than the fact that it's running at a higher res. The audio for that game is hilarious.
Okay.
Because you'll hear the screaming of the ISA or the Hellgast, and it'll be like, and shit, and it's so good. The shooting doesn't feel great. It feels heavy like later Killzones would, but not in a way where it feels good. Just heavy, not good. And I did manage to play the multiplayer actually. Because Killzone 1 had bot matches. And you could do up to so you could play the online multiplayer, but with bots. And I did that, and like original Killzone Online multiplayer was actually pretty decent. So yeah, that game was okay. It's definitely not gonna be a game that I go and revisit. It's definitely a game that I would say is of its time. And I talk about this on the series where that game was supposed to be the Halo killer, and this big fucking thing, but like, man, even Halo 1, which was 3 years old at that point, is so much better than Killzone.
Yeah.
It is so, and then like the fact that Half-Life, like Doom 3, which is still a better game than this, came out a couple months before this, and Half-Life 2 and Halo 2 came out like a couple weeks after this. Just the thing I'm happy is they took this, and this is something you don't see as much anymore. They took this kind of middling game that did okay but was a cool concept, and were willing to flesh it out and make the sequel something really awesome.
Yep.
And I wish more studios would be willing to do that now, because back then, like and then another game, the game we did second was Burnout 3. The first Burnout was okay, the second Burnout was good but not amazing, but Burnout 3 is a fucking masterpiece. Okay, I have played Burnout 3 off and on this entire week after I did the video, because of how much I was enjoying it. And yeah, so Burnout 3, that was the next game we did. Yeah, that game is perfect. It's almost perfect. Like and the emulator has a widescreen patch and will run it at 4K. So it feels like if it were like that game is so good, it feels like just a modern video game with those improvements. Like it feels like, oh, the graphics are like from an indie studio, but otherwise this game is basically a modern video game.
Right.
It's so good. It's so good. So I played a bunch of Burnout 3 for an hour.
Beautiful game.
Oh, so fucking good.
They nailed it.
They did, and then they made more in Revenge. I don't think Revenge is as good. Not, and it's mainly just because I think the color palette is weird. Because they like got a head start on that next gen piss filter with that version. And everything's a little softer and blurrier for some reason. And then of course we all know Paradise is a masterpiece.
Yep.
So EA,
Yep.
EA and Criterion, Burnout Paradise 2.
People would love another Paradise or just Burnout. Like, man,
How many times? I'm trying to think of how many times I have bought Burnout Paradise. I bought it on the 360. I bought it on the PS3. I bought it on the Switch. I bought it on the PS4, and I bought it on Steam, and then I bought the remaster on the PS4. I have bought Burnout Paradise 6 fucking times, and I've loved playing through it every goddamn. Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to get the message across. Look, we live in a capitalist society. The companies only understand your dollar. So this is a big part of why I've been telling people, please buy the Marvel vs. Capcom collection.
Right.
For the love of God, please.
Yeah. And then the last game I played during that was MTV's Pimp My Ride Street Racing.
I checked in on that. I wanted to see how's this going. I was like, this is a very middling looking game. What is this? And the Heroes Pimp My Ride is like, these cars haven't been pimped.
No.
What am I looking at?
And even when they get pimped, they're really not that impressive. Like, the livery editor is not nearly as interesting as what you would get even in, like, Forza at the time.
The whole reason I would get a Pimp My Ride game.
Yeah, so it was very much one of those licensed games that, like if it were to come out today, this would be like a phone game. This would be something you buy on the phone for like $3. And apparently this was a sequel! There was Pimp My Ride, and I played MTV's Pimp My Ride Street Racing. This was the second one. And this came out in 2009. Yeah, it looked okay. Like, for a PS2 game, it looked pretty alright, actually. But then the menus looked really bad. And the best part is they, like, do this weird FMV intro that's, like, 10 seconds long with, like, gotta pimp my ride. And they do these, like, really awful transitions and loading screens. And it's just... And it doesn't have split screen multiplayer. I was like, you know what? These tracks are kind of cool with all these shortcuts. You could maybe do some really interesting split screen multiplayer. And I was like, I wonder if this is here. And I looked, and no, it doesn't even have split screen multiplayer.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So we ranked them. The rankings were pretty obvious. It was number 3 was Pimp My Ride. I also had to think about it because parts of Killzone were really rough. Killzone was real rough on the eyes at points too, but Killzone was 2, and then Burnout was number 1. This week, when we do ranking the PS2 on Tuesday, we're gonna be doing Herbs, Sims in the City.
All right.
We're gonna be doing Ultimate Spider-Man.
Hell yeah.
And then we're gonna be doing. Then we're gonna kind of be deciding on a bigger, like, well-known game that did well. So something like a Shadow of the Colossus or God of War, something that, like, You know, and I think that's gonna be the pattern I go for. Is This is something I kind of want to ask you guys in the audience about for ranking the PS2. Should I just put all the titles into a spin the wheel and have it pick for me for the week? Should I do what I'm doing now, where I do kind of a game I don't know about, kind of a good or middling game, and then an amazing game or a critically well received game? Like should I just do 3 trash games some weeks? Like I'm trying to decide how I want to do that, how I select the games week to week. So if you guys got suggestions, let me know.
I'm someone who is very much I need to play according to what my mood is. If I feel like playing trash games that day, I'm playing all trash games. But if I try to set a thing of like, all right, I need to play one trash, one probably middling, and one like highly regarded game, there will be days where I am not in the mood to do that for whatever reason, and I'm just like, nah.
Okay.
I'm very much someone who's like, I'm gonna look on the list. I'm gonna let my gut lead me where I need to go.
That's understandable. I will say that like I've been having fun looking at this list, and it's just I'm excited, especially because like some games people said they are their favorites, but also reviewed really poorly. Like everyone was like, "Oh man, Mega Man X7 and X8 are awesome," and then like I checked the reviews and they're middling as fuck.
But see that interests me the most. Those are the games I really want to go check out.
Like I asked, like the Herb Sims in the City reviewed very poorly, but someone straight told me to my face that is their favorite PS2 game. And I'm like, all right, let's get it. And so yeah, and then some of these games I know, like Burnout 3, I knew I was gonna enjoy that.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy Phantom Brave, or I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy Scalar. But yeah, I had a ball during that first night. I was happy that people came and chatted for a bit. Even if it was a little bit. Dwarf Wolf Dad, shout out for that. I feel like that show, and just like this whole channel, is like member berries the show, and like me giving you historical context of PS2 games.
Yeah.
Like
Hell
when I was like talking about, like I was talking about Killzone was advertised as the Halo killer, and I mean, look at this fucking game. That's obviously not true. Or you're looking at, or I was playing Burnout 3 and we saw the in-game advertising, and I was just like, remember what the grossest thing in video games was, like in-game advertising for other video games that you might want to play?
Right.
Remember when that was something people made up in arms about, and it wasn't trying to get like $5,000 a month from me through microtransactions? Remember that? What a simpler time.
It was.
Good times. Good times.
So yeah.
I like playing Burnout Paradise and seeing a billboard for it's like low key advertising Skate. You should go play Skate, and then you play Skate, and it's low key advertising Burnout Paradise.
I actually remembered when Burnout Paradise was advertising the "Go Vote for Obama" thing, and I had to and I remember telling people about that. Like I remember sitting in that discussion with everyone and being like, yeah, yo dog, remember when the video game told you to go vote for Obama?
That's the last thing I want, is for like politicians to start coming in my video game and advertising. Like, I can't. Come on.
Well, it apparently wasn't very successful because no one's done it since. So, oh man, I just thought something really fun. Imagine like playing Battlefield and you get a fucking vote for Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. Great.
The Republican Party invading Call of Duty to be like get RNC ads in fucking. Oh.
Was it for Call of Duty or was it for Battlefield?
Oh no, I'm saying that's not. Imagine if that happened.
Oh, imagine if that happened. Oh, fuck.
Oh my god, dude. Oh, it'd be so funny. I hope it doesn't happen, but man, I would be like, oh, the world's going to shit, but this is hilarious.
The Harris campaign put out ads in Balatro. Well, at least that's decent. That's a decent choice. Like, imagine like you're getting the gamer vote by like putting ads on good games, and if you pick poorly, you go down.
I like that. I like that idea. Like, oh man, did you hear Donald Trump put his ad in fucking FIFA? Ugh.
Well, we could totally do like what happened with E3, where like people started paying attention more to E3, and they're like, all right, we're gonna do a show for consumers, and then consumers cared so much that now it's like huge pressure to do well at E3. We just do this so then they start advertising to try and get our attention, and it's like, wow, they picked that game, huh? Oh, fuck that guy. It's like, oh shit, all right, Pizza Tower political campaign, go.
Okay, so anyway, and then I hopped back into Tekken this week to get ready for Fight Night. Eddie's cool. I like Eddie. I tried Eddie for the first time. He was really neat. His launcher is super awesome. And it's so easy to get, like holding back and pressing 3. You just tap it twice and it's boom in the air immediately. And it's a low too.
It's a low, of course. Great.
The bad part is you have to be on the ground to do it, but yeah.
Which, being Eddie, you're just flipping around all over the place.
Yeah. I want to get good with Lydia, but she seems very counterintuitive to the way I like to play, and doesn't really have like. I feel like her mix isn't as easy, and maybe I'm just bad and I'll figure it out. But I love her style, that fucking gi. And have you seen her rage art yet?
Yes.
It's awesome. It's so
great.
good.
Yep. It's good.
Yeah. So I've enjoyed Tekken. I have the problem you have where I want to learn all the fighting games, but I have to dedicate. And the one I'm dedicating to is Street Fighter. Speaking of though, I put some time into Grand Blue.
Oh, okay.
I got up to C3 of the ranks. So
nice.
So it's like I'm ranking up. It's really fucked that you can do your equivalent of a level 3 off of almost any combo. Like,
all right,
landed the hit, level 3, let's go.
Here we go.
Yep. But yeah, so that was cool. That game's really neat. It seems like it's similar to Street Fighter. It's a lot of like spacing, blocking, patience. I cannot tell you how many people like who try to run up on me, and it's just like standing heavy. Gadoosh.
Yep.
I've been really enjoying 2B. 2B also has this thing where you can like hover. So like I'll hover and they like won't understand like how to approach it. It's like he's just hanging in the air. And then they jump up at me and I use the like little spinny blade thing and they're like, ah, fuck.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, so it's that game's cool. It's visually very interesting. Like it looks awesome. It's very much like the game I've been playing when I want to play a fighting game, but if I'm tired, I get way too salty for Street Fighter or Tekken. So this seems like a good solution.
Yes. Again, like having that game with a little more like you're just all right.
Yeah, like because especially like Dragon Ball, and the thing with Dragon Ball and even KI, my matchmaking is so high that every time I play, it's just like, cool, we're gonna drop you with other total sweat lords. And it's like, no.
Yeah. Yep. Here we go.
And it's like, and I understand that normally I want that even match, but I'm tired. It's like, okay, I need to be bad at one of these games. That's like Tekken and Grand Blue are the games. So yeah, played a lot of Grand Blue. And then finally, I played a single player game that wasn't for a show and wasn't fighting this week. I put some time into Dragon's Dogma 2.
All right, finally.
Yeah, that game. So I last left off about 6 hours into the game at the first major town. That game needs a setting where it's, and I'm a 30-something-year-old adult. Can you remind me of the controls? And I
Right.
feel like every game needs this now. Like I need every game to come with a checkbox that says, "Yo dog, I'm 30 or
Mm-hmm.
40 and can you just give me a quick like 2-minute rundown of buttons?"
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
and that's everything. I played a lot of fucking video games this week and it was awesome.
Woo. Yeah.
You know. Oh, I tried out Arkham Asylum on the deck also. Yeah.
I bet that was good.
It was pretty good. It was thick.
Hell
Arkham
yeah.
Asylum runs perfectly on deck.
All right.
You
Awesome.
do
Go
have,
figure.
you
Yeah.
do have to configure it by using the touchscreen though, because it uses like one of those things where you have to choose the settings then launch it.
Oh, okay.
It's not a big deal. You basically
Minor
like
details.
you hit settings, tap 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 tap, save,
Mm-hmm.
play, and then you're done. But it runs great. It runs great. Did some Luminous on the deck. I've been using my deck more just because I'm like, I I'm trying to set up a way to where I can still enjoy my office outside of work.
Sure.
Because what ends up happening is I spend my workday in here, and this is also where my computer is, and I'm like, oh, I want to play a PC game. Fuck, I really don't want to sit in this room anymore.
Yep.
Fuck. So the Steam Deck has been a good middle ground of okay, cool, I can play these PC games or a lot of these PC games in the other room on my deck. It's
Mm-hmm.
also a big proponent of why I've been so console heavy recently is because fuck, I don't want to be in this room anymore. It's act-
Nope.
it's actually made me like I'm probably building a PC next year, and I was gonna sell Jarvis 1.0 here, but instead what I'm thinking of doing is finding a space for him behind the television and hooking him to the television and getting a wireless
Ooh.
keyboard and mouse and
And
seeing
then just
and yeah,
oh.
having all the advantages of a decent gaming PC on the couch. Now, that comes with a bunch of its own fucking complications. Like, I want to make sure I would have to be able to turn this thing on remotely, which is going to be a part addition, and I'd want to be able to, and not only that, I'd want to be able to do, what's it called? Like, just a bunch of shit remotely from the couch so I have to look into doing that, and I'd also need to install a Wi-Fi card. So,
Right.
but yeah, so that's a
Okay.
that's a fun side project. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm up to. Oh, not game related, but I watched that new Batman show. It's okay. It's on Amazon.
The new
It's alright.
Batman show.
Yeah, it's called Batman: The
Oh.
Caped Crusader.
Okay.
The Batman the animated series guy is the producer of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the art style is cool. I think the animation can be better. As for the show itself, it's had a very noir vibe to it. I don't think the characters are as good or as likable as Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
I feel like they lean too much into traumatized Batman and not into the stuff that made the animated series Batman great, which was, yeah, he has trauma, but he's also very empathetic.
Right.
You know. So yeah. Anyway.
Interesting. Okay. Looking at this trailer. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that leaves You play anything? You were doing Rebirth, right?
Yeah, I was doing Rebirth this week, and since getting to chapter 12, which I got there last night,
Yeah.
Flux Shinra,
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Flux Shinra Manor,
Yep. Not great. Hate it. Fucking was
with a
so happy when I was done with
fiery
that.
fucking passion. But I'm super happy I met my sweet vampire boy.
Ah.
Oh, nice. Good. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. You're on 12. What was 12 again? Oh, that's like yeah,
That is
that.
the fight between us and the Dawn.
And did you do the play yet?
I did. I
That
did do the
shit
play
was
last night.
awesome. That was so
That was
good.
so good.
It was
So good.
yeah, like
Oh.
So there is this part where
like
you go
I
back.
started crying right there at the end. I was just like, "Oh my god, why? Why are you doing this to me, Square?"
So
Oh,
on
Square
your
Enix.
return to the Gold Saucer, Aaron, there is a part where you go out at night, and then you and the party basically get put into a fantasy play at the Gold Saucer. Like
Cool.
Barrett and Red 13 are the bad guy, Cloud is the hero, and you play a rhythm game and are in a musical, essentially.
Oh,
It's great.
It's
okay, that
fantastic.
sounds great.
It's
Yeah.
super good, and then you do your romance scene after. Oh, who did you end up romancing? Who was your Ferris wheel ride with?
I didn't have a high enough level in any of my romances, so it was
Oh,
me and the boys.
that's funny. I ended up in a similar situation where Barrett beat out Aerith by like a hair, and I mean, if you
Yeah,
put the
I
two
didn't
smile,
have Barrett on this one.
yeah,
Okay.
So it
if
was me, Sid, Kate Sith, and Vincent.
that's even better. That's even better.
Right? So
that's
good.
that's
And
like
they're all just like
that's like the Persona 4 thing when you don't have a girlfriend, just you, Teddy, Yosuke, and Kanji are just hanging out on
just
Valentine's
all
Day,
hanging
being
out. It's
like,
fucking great.
yeah, man, chicks, am I
So
right?
good.
Like,
And Kate Sith is like, "Hey, look at all the fireworks and the chocobos and all this stuff," and everybody is just like, "Hmm."
at, at,
And
Yep.
he's just like, "Motherfucker,
at,
bullshit."
yeah, for me, it ended up being Barrett, because like
Mhm.
I was trying to do Tifa, but I apparently didn't get enough interactions, and I actually had Aerith really high. The game really feels like it tries to push Aerith as like who you go on that date with. It makes it real easy to get the number up.
Yeah,
But apparently, my responses to questions align with Barrett quite a bit. So,
Hmm.
because the way your ranking with different party members goes, it's like you'll go and talk to them, and they'll like your responses to things more or less. And apparently, Barrett really likes my thoughts on a lot of things.
yeah.
Um, my date was originally wanted to be with Tifa when I started the game, but the ranking did not get high enough, so I was like, fine, Aerith will be cool. And then in the last like chapter, Barrett really took a shine to some of the shit I was spitting down, and I went on a romantic date with Barrett. Uh,
Oh,
It's
nice.
cute.
we talk
It's
about
very
trauma. We trauma bond on the Ferris wheel.
Wonderful.
You know, just like I let all these people die, and Cloud's like, me too.
trauma
We have so
bond.
much in common.
Oh,
That's man.
Cloud, you
Wild.
need to
That's fun though.
Cloud, you need to relax.
Cool.
Yeah. So, uh, and then you do your little arena thing, and that's where you're at. You're in the arena fight. Or you're
Hmm.
about to
I'm
be in the
about
arena
to
fight.
start that. Yeah.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I thought that those fights were real good. Have a lot of items ready, cause you're gonna do it, and then you're gonna fight someone else, and then you're gonna fight another person. So have items and other bullshit ready to go. So yeah. I really like that chapter. In all honesty, it's the next chapter that I find fucking annoying as hell. Uh,
No.
not it's not as bad as Shinra Manor. It's not as bad as Shinra Manor. At
Okay,
least it's
it's not
fun
if it's not
still.
as bad as chapter 11, we're
It's just
fine.
long. It's just really fucking long. So
I'm already at
as you
34 hours,
yeah
so there we go.
so
Already here.
yeah so you played the original, so you know you go to the Temple of the Ancients.
Yeah.
The Temple of the Agents, one, it splits the party, and two, it's long as fuck. So, yeah. And
Yay.
then, but I think the story stuff there at the end is kind of, the payoff is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, um, yeah, and then you do the last chapter, and the last boss fight is fucking sick. It is super good.
Okay.
It is awesome. Like, the last boss fight of that game, and the setup for Part 3 is fucking awesome.
Hmm.
I don't think the ending is particularly great because of some things they change in regards to the original. And then the last boss fight is long as hell. It's like 7 phases. It is long as
Oh.
shit.
Like,
Oh yeah, and you're rotating parties too. So you'll want to have you'll have a party that's like Tifa, Barrett, Aerith, Tifa, Barrett, Kate Sith, Red 13, Yuffie. It like rotates parties in different phases.
Ooh.
oh, fuck. It's like the Anthem fight in Kingdom Hearts 1, where it's like
Yeah.
2+ hours in 7 phases, and it's like, holy shit.
Yes, very much so. Like get ready. Get ready for that shit. Um Yeah, so I'm looking forward to your commentary when you're done. I totally want to do a spoiler cast for that game. It's a big one. It's a good game. I think that it's just a
I'd be
little
down
too
for that.
padded at points, but I
And I
really
see
enjoy.
that. I do see
Yeah,
the.
you're just like there are points in that game where I'm just like, come the fuck on already.
I'm ready for this to be over. Let's go. Come
Yeah.
on.
Oh, and I actually forgot one game. I'm done with Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. So I feel
You
like we
finished
talked
the
about
Dawn
this last
Trail?
week.
No,
Yeah.
I mean like I'm not even finishing Dawn Trail. Like I got
Okay.
to I did like the little bit past the middle point dungeon, and I did another bit of story exposition, and I got to one of those things where it says, "Hey, several cutscenes in a row are gonna play now," and I was just like, "Oh fuck,
Fuck
okay,
this.
I can't, no more." And then
You?
with my girlfriend stopping playing and like all the other shit I got going on with fighting games and the new WoW
Yep.
season in a month, I
Yep.
was like, nope, I'm done. So and the fact that I don't think I would have done it if my sub wasn't 2 days away from being renewed at the time. Like I was like,
Right.
okay, it's do or die. Am I gonna commit to another month and finish Dawn Trail, or am I done? Nope,
Yeah.
I'm done. So
Yeah, that's fine.
but I do have a story for Jim Dark Magic. Jim Dark Magic, upon getting to the middle of the trial, was like, yo, Wuck, Lamok, and the twins, y'all got this shit. You got it unlocked. You don't need my help. And then went to the beach and retired on the beach forever. Yeah,
Nice. I like that ending.
that's his ending. He gets to be piss drunk on the beach doing magic tricks until he gets tired.
And
That's a
such
fine
is
ending.
the
Like,
story
already
of
you
James
went through the,
Darthanian Dark Magic the Third.
Yep.
yeah. Went and saved everything and then went and retired.
Yep.
In a faraway land, a comfortable area. Nice.
Yep. There you
I
go.
like it.
I have definitely briefly considered the thought of, I can just make him in WoW. I can make him a mage in WoW and
You could.
continue
You
the
could.
adventure. It's like,
No reason you can't.
he got on one of the ships in Old Charlian and went to a new planet called Azeroth.
Yeah. Why
That's
not?
yeah. So yeah. No, I'm done. I uninstalled. I got my 100 gigs of hard drive space. If the next expansion looks amazing or they make some tweaks to the design, what I'm down for, I might come back. But yeah, especially because I paid for Dawn
Other than
Trail.
that, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm done. I'm
All right.
done.
Cool.
All right. So did you play anything besides Rebirth, M? Anytime? No.
All
Uh.
right.
All right. Well. Anyway, guys. We'll be back on Tuesday for ranking the PS2. Friday for Friday Night
Yep.
Fights. Friday Night Fights is Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
We're fighting in them streets, streeting
Yeah, we
in them
are.
fights. And then Sunday's podcast again. We love you. Bye. You're wonderful people.
See ya.
Wow.